Hello.
Hello.
Hey, chat. How's it going?
I couldn't think of anything aggressive to say to you today, so you're great.
How's everything sound, guys?
Test, test. 1, 2, 3.
Beep boop bop boop.
Oh, hello.
Skillabop bop bop.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
My mic sounds fun.
It does? Weird.
Yeah. Music could be a touch softer and something that's funky with
Did turn it down a little bit. I'll turn it down more. Yours was this one, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why I'm distant. I'm sitting right in front of the mic.
Hang on, let me make sure it's correct. Yeah, yours is mic 2. Mic 3 should still be normal.
We're audio mixing. We're mixing and mixing and mixing.
We did the things according to your thing. Let me check the filters.
Yeah, it's so weird. It sounds really...
I guess bring your filters back up and then I make sure that I have them right.
Oh boy, dials and equalizers.
We did set up, I swear to God.
Yeah, we did this like a couple hours ago.
My tech presence just skewed everything. Oh no.
Filters. Show me that compressor.
Compressor.
I wonder if it's how they're set up? Like the...
It's all the same. I don't think the order should matter. I can't change the order anyway. Oh wait, I can. Gain above.
I sound so far away.
I don't know why. It's exactly the same.
I know,
on
it's so weird.
yours.
You're at the table. You're right in front of the boba. What's going on?
Yeah.
Bring up the expander one again? Or, I guess, check to see.
Band.
Expand the band. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Betty, expand band.
I don't know.
She's also distancing from her, yeah.
It's like right in her face.
It literally, like,
She's like consuming it right now.
I am consuming the mic right now.
I don't know what to
And
do.
I don't know if I can voice like this.
What do I do?
What is...
What do we do here?
It sounds better when I eat the mic.
If all else fails, fillet the mic.
Okay.
Oh no, not the grapefruit technique!
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
I can just do that. I don't know if that's gonna do a damn thing.
What did you do?
I just turned up the bass volume on the audio mixer. Does it sound better?
I mean, it might be better. Well, you can hear now. Yeah, it seems like it's better.
Okay, that's
Cool.
weird.
To be fair, I usually have the bass sound like all the way up. So,
So you don't fiddle with these then?
No. Only if like it's a really quick fix and
Yeah.
like, oh, it's just way too loud. I don't mess with the gain because every stream is different.
But we don't have to worry
So-
about game audio. It's just music.
Musica.
Music. How's it going, chat? No scuff here. Nothing happened. We just started.
Hope y'all are having a good Sunday.
Okay. Sounds better.
So you didn't have
Awesome.
anything violent to say, so the scuff decided to happen instead.
I see. So I'm just supposed to come out swinging and just be violent.
That's how you keep the scuff at bay. Well, don't you worry. Even if you have to leave, the VOD will be there.
Grinding and what?
And also bumping, mayhaps?
I'm glad you're having fun, T. I saw some of your like little notes in the document, and I greatly appreciate them. It's gonna make editing way easier. Because I'm sure, as you've noticed, a lot of the times when I like bulk write for my drafting, I forget a lot of punctuation and commas on occasion. So,
Tis the way of the writer.
yeah. But I usually fix that when I go back through, and then I usually add extra description.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just trying to do stuff. Okay.
More Star Rail fog. The grind is real. I still need to. I just upped my equilibrium again, so now I have to level all my characters again. So I'll be doing that while waiting for more story.
The struggle of actually keeping up with the game.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are ready for more Mysteria?
Let's go.
I'm so excited and so nervous at the same time because I've got a special thing for later.
Ooh.
Anyway. Oh yeah, Branya got that boost. I don't have Branya, but I did all the little trials and stuff. Anyway, we'll do Smash or Pass for for Star Rail later.
Yeah. That will come around at some point.
Yeah.
And Pom Pom will watch us from the corner, illuminated, judging us.
Yeah, it's true. I get a little Pom Pom plush, like right in front of the light that I use.
Don't look at us that way, Mama.
Actually, I should take a picture. and send it.
judging the horny.
Judging the horny harshly. Damn.
Boop. Alright, I'll send that in the Discord and then we'll go over what happened last time.
Ooh, yeah, the recap.
Yeah, I got mostly a page. And that's just for last stream, it's not even the whole thing.
Y'all just go. Yeah. As we've discovered, Neko is the what's
The exception?
well, the exception, but
The rebel of the group.
the warden of
The
horny
warden
jail.
of horny jail.
Because Neko does not do the simp as we do. There he is, judging you harshly. Even his mouth is kind of like, oh no.
Technically, Pom Pom's they. I always use he, but Pom Pom is a they, them.
Okay, their mouth is judging us.
Their pronouns are heckin' cute.
It's true. Pom Pom is the best. Love Pom Pom. Anyway, recap.
Let's go. Get into it.
So previously on the Tale of Mysteria, Alia, Kindle, and Turbius are joined by Breeze and Pre boarding Captain Granger's ship thanks to running into Gwen. They make their way to Lurline, the capital city of the Pastoria Empire. Gwen parts ways for a business deal, and the party runs into a thief by the name of Eric, who happened to have Alia's brother's monogun. The thief slips away, but not before they learn of a weapon that can kill spirits. They head to a thieves guild known as Black Song, led by Alia's old friend Mistral. Mistral enlists their help to destroy the weapon, guided by Eric and accompanied by the assassin Raven. They infiltrate, and Raven parts ways after her mark, while the others go after the weapon. Once they enter the main weapon room, they are surrounded by Princess Claudia and her knights. Oh wait, I just lost my track. I'm sorry, I scrolled.
Oh no!
Yeah. Okay, there we go. They're surrounded by Princess Claudia and her knights as she reveals that Eric sold out Black Song. The crew fights their way out with Eric's help, and they destroy the weapon and escape on the back of Kindle's true form as a Thunderbird. However, on their way out, Alia witnessed a mysterious man by the name of Jack Mystic, initially in tears upon seeing him. However, the moment she looked away, he slips her mind entirely.
Ooh, interesting.
And now is last stream.
Gotcha.
In case y'all forgot or did not consume. Okay, I need to switch over to this one. Of course you're reloading, because I have the thing where you don't do the...
Whoa, professionals.
Okay, loaded. I have a setting on Chrome where to save processing, because I have a billion fucking tabs open. We don't talk about how many tabs are open. Just for Mysteria alone, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You said you wouldn't talk about it. Now you jinxed it.
We don't talk about what's in the other folders. But yeah, in order to save processing, I have it where it like basically shuts down that tab until I open it again. So you're not wrong though. They are two-headed and of the scaly variety.
I mean, I know T has the script now, but like...
I didn't even put anything with Turbius in yet. Turbius's true form isn't even written in yet.
I haven't read that far.
You just guessed it, you know.
Damn.
You had the script and you didn't even know.
You consumed enough of it, you understand me now.
Welcome to the Writers Club. You're starting to share the same brain cells. Hello, King of the Mountains.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
So, let's see. Are we gonna do this? I'm nervous.
That's what we're doing here. We're here to read.
I might need more drink first.
we're here to read and we're here
Chug
to
a lot.
Junie. Act it up.
Yeah.
The best part
Alright,
is
you
when
two
you get the
interchange
villain.
chat for a minute, and I'll be back with some
Sounds
more
like a plan.
Because if I'm gonna be doing the narration, I need more drink.
Hydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate, chat. Also, make sure to fix your cashew-shaped bodies. I know we just started,
Ooh, for sure.
but it's gonna be very interesting to get Pyah in on this.
Yeah, and I apologize in advance. There is one lady that I'm going to be voicing today, and I've only been voice training for exactly 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes.
It's gonna be fine.
It's going to be fine. I'm going to be switching between a couple different characters here. Not as many as Aria and Sumi since I'm just hopping in for the first time, but I'm going to do my best and enjoy it.
I mean, Sumi and I, when it comes to like the voicing, Sumi and I for like a whole 10 minutes tried to do a Scottish accent for Turbius, and it did not go
You
well.
frosted tube nugget.
Yep.
You frosted tube nugget. That's how you get into character. Something that Turbius has never ever said.
But they probably would.
They would.
Something freedom.
Yes.
Damn. Yeah.
My ancestors are just shaking their heads right now.
Running over my pants. Flowy pants. They're a little long. Okay, so yes, we did switch up so that Pyah is Kindle specifically because it worked out better so that we weren't talking to ourselves as much.
Yeah. It's really awkward when you have
Yeah.
to voice act between two characters and you are yourself.
Because like there's a couple new characters in this session, and the conversation would have been a lot back and forth between Pyah, so I was like, I'm gonna just like finagle this a little bit.
Just wedge it in. Wedge the snack in.
Because originally Pyah was gonna take over Eric, but I was like, that's a lot of back and forth between one of those characters. Oh, where did my armrest go?
What in the world? Oh, there it is.
Did y'all see the
proper Arcade Ally stream without some scuff?
Did y'all see the signs that I posted in the Discord and that one sign that says a no lag zone? I was like, God, I wish I knew what that felt like.
I could get it, but it's a lie.
I know. I would want to get it as like a guardian of our streams to see if it would work, but I think it would make it worse. I think it would make the
True.
lag gods angry. So,
All right, hydration acquired. Review of character switch up applied, I guess. Was let's do it.
T. Clever with the comments.
Oh, yes. Our chat is smart. They're funny and they're cute.
Yeah, cute little string worms.
Ew, string worms.
Oh, we don't have our string worms.
Okay.
But we got knowledge.
That's true.
String worms later. String worms for post stream, I guess. I don't know.
Post stream chatting. Yep.
I don't think I have your string worm set up yet though. But
You heard
I
that,
can do
chat.
that
We'll snuggle
very
later.
Yes. Post nut snuggling.
I was tempted to. It's okay. They have a nice fancy scroll now. We're in a new
Ooh,
setting.
yes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Mirzam Library.
I like that one.
All right, serious.
Nope. Not gonna happen, but
Yeah,
we
I
can
know.
try. You can dream.
I can pretend.
You chose the wrong people to
I
be
know.
serious with.
Where?
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway,
Let's do this.
Narrate.
All right, switch track. Let's go. Is it going? There it goes. Okay. This one's a little softer, so I might turn this up a smidge. There we go. All right. Record 12. Deep in the Oscar forest, the trees towered in an insurmountable height. What little semblance of a path was rough with bulky roots and fallen branches, as the incline began to steepen into the Cathedral Mountains. A broken and buried stone path began to surface through the dirt, dotting the trail leading the way to the moss-covered, broken pillars and crumbled painted walls of a long-forgotten building, now nothing more than planter boxes overgrown with life. Further beyond, nestled between the towering precipice of the steep mountains, was the last structure that remained standing. It was far larger than the broken buildings they had passed. While still worn, cracked, and covered with vines and moss, the orange and yellow painted stone that was chipped and cracked in what little dawn light peeked through the trees gave a warm feeling to the place. The decorative markings on the stonework that framed the massive archway leading inside almost seemed to tell a story, leading to the sunny emblem on the keystone. A large tunnel was lined with statues of stone dragons, some completely broken and others simply chipped and cracked, leading up to the stone doors, with the same sun symbol carved into the center with an intricate design filling the rest of the space. Just inside was a large entry hall that was completely empty, save for a few mana lanterns sitting on the floor in various corners of the room, and a couple in the center. A few small rooms with no doors were off to the left and right. On the far side, opposing the entrance, was an archway leading to another sizable room, on the other side of which was a closed door, not quite as extravagant as the entrance, but still had an engraved pattern.
Home away from home.
Eric stretched as he walked inside. "You have a home?" Alia raised an eyebrow. The way he talked before made him seem more like a wandering thief, never settling in one place.
Good point.
Eric laughed it off, waving a finger at her. It was really as she suspected.
I guess this kinda is home. Wait, is that turn?
No, your turn. Your turn.
Okay. This place is pretty thick with mana.
Tur noticed this little specks of light rising from the ground. It wasn't often mana was so naturally present that it was visible. "It really is coming out of the earth," Bias shared in his brother's surprise. "This is where a couple ley lines intersect," Alia deduced as she looked over the structure of the room. "From the architecture, I would hazard a guess that these ruins date all the way back to the Age of Darkness. Back then, the humans Back then, the humans tended to build them on points connected to the ley lines. It was a common practice after that, but what's more interesting is that they weren't built with the assistance of spirits. She beamed as she filled with excitement and curiosity. She had always enjoyed exploring old ruins with her brothers, piecing together bits of history that only time knew. It had been a long time since she had investigated some ruins and couldn't help but smile. There aren't very many intact ruins left in this world as old as this.
Wow, didn't realize you were such a big nerd.
Kindle jested with a smirk as she sat on the remains of a broken pillar. Really? I thought that would have been obvious by now. Alia snickered as she leaned in the archway.
You sure this place was built by humans? Ruins go pretty dang deep.
Eric looked at Alia with an air of skepticism.
There's a point where it stops because it's sealed off by a giant door. No way to open it, and bashing it doesn't seem to do a thing. I've tried.
You would. Alia leered at him. I bet to steal whatever's down there.
You got me.
Eric smiled, putting his hands up.
It was disappointing to find this place empty, but it works as a place to lay low.
Weren't you a pirate?
Kindle tilted her head at Alia. Yeah, I was associated with thieves, but I didn't steal anything myself. Alia crossed her arms. Besides, back then we mostly fought the First Order. The amount of thievery that any of them did was mainly to mess with those jerks.
Is that why you don't like humans?
Eric narrowed his eyes at her quizzically. No, just you, Alia stated frankly.
Why? What's not to like about me?
Eric shrugged with a playful smirk on his face. Not a criminal, I just work with criminals.
There's a difference, there's a line.
You're annoying, selfish, disloyal, Alia listed off in a resentful tone, counting on her fingers. There's something else too I have yet to put my finger on. I'll be sure to let you know if I do, so if you happen to still be around.
You are a rather blunt woman.
Eric flashed a cherished smile.
Hope you don't mind me asking, Alia.
Kindle approached the topic cautiously, knowing it would be touchy.
Were you with the Blackbriar Pirates before the First Order enslaved the spirits?
No, Alia's expression darkened a bit, but she answered honestly. I was enslaved and under mind control just like the rest of the spirits in the world.
How'd you break free?
Kindle leaned forward rather curiously. She couldn't recall much from that time. The entire time under the control of the First Order was a complete blank for her. That gun, Alia pointed to the gun on Eric's hip, her expression still grave. That's a rather special weapon called Regulus. It's lost continent technology from the Age of Stars. It used to be in possession of Captain Thatch before it was gifted to my brother Zephyr. It fires compressed mana, not quite as dense as a rune, but it sure can feel like it. A massive influx of mana can disrupt the tether bond, as well as certain magic arts. After we were shot with it, it was easy for me and Zephyr to break free from the druid that had enslaved us. Did the Order really do all that? Turbius looked shocked. Their sister never talked much about the past, so it was surprising to hear. Yeah, you didn't elaborate on that before. Breeze pouted as she was writing more details down in her book.
Can you blame her?
Bree chimed in her ear.
It was a dark time. No spirit from that time period likes to talk about it.
Well, I'm gonna go steal some food from town.
Eric turned away, trying to change the grim subject.
I know for spirits, food is optional, but you guys want anything?
Nothing from you. Alia glowered at him as she turned to the room that led further into the ruins.
I'll be fine.
Kindle leaned back against the wall.
Thank you, though.
Booze! Turbius cheered. Kindle rolled her eyes at them.
You boys got it.
Eric pointed at them excitedly. He looked over at Breeze, who had settled in a corner and started writing in her book while Pri sat next to her on the floor.
Don't worry about us.
Pre noticed Eric looking their way.
Bree still has a handful of goodies in her bag. Suit yourselves.
Eric shrugged and left. Hey, Alia called out to the spirits as soon as she heard the stone door shut. She took a deep breath and smiled. As she returned to the main hall everyone was in. Would you all like to see something special? Now that he's gone, I feel more comfortable doing this. Alia snapped her fingers, and the mana that was just floating upward in the air gathered and swirled, forming a circle that looked like a gateway, somewhat entirely made of light. That's the thing! Breeze shot up and pointed with her quill. You came out of that outside of Gaylet! It does last for a short time after I dispel it, so I guess you would have seen that. Huh. Alia smiled at Breeze, as Breeze looked it over from every angle with vigorous curiosity. The power I borrow from Lady Azurius is a bit more specific than her other kinbound. It's the ability to access the ley lines. I'm supposed to keep it a secret, but I trust you guys.
Cool!
Turbius excitedly joined Breeze in looking it over from all angles.
I see.
Kindle slowly walked over.
It makes sense you know much as you do about aurora runes and ley lines. Your excuse at Blacksong seems a little flimsy.
Well, I actually learned about them from Valarius and Leos first. Alia shrugged. So it wasn't so much as an excuse as a half-truth.
So are you just going to toss that aurora rune in there or what?
Kindle eyed her and the bag with curiosity. What? Don't you want to see the ley lines? Alia smirked. I wouldn't have opened a portal this big. I do! Breeze dashed directly into the pool of mana.
Breeze, wait for me.
Pre jumped in after her.
I'm in!
Turbius cheered and followed after.
Not every day you see the ley lines.
Kindle smiled as she entered, rather excited to see what it was like inside. The bright light took a moment to adjust to. Once everyone did, the shimmering flow of mana was a stunning sight to see. Oh, I must have missed a track change. Hang on, that's not the right song. There we go. I must not have marked it in my document. It's fine. Scuff, it's fine. The thing! Yeah. Hydrate real quick.
The thing, in the place, with the guy.
And the stuff.
And the people.
No scuff, only scuff. The bright light took a moment to adjust to. Once everyone did, the shimmering flow of mana was a stunning sight to see. It was as though they were looking at a sea of stars. They stood at the center of 3 pathways made of crystallized mana that shimmered with all the colors blended together.
Are the paths aurora runes?
Kindle looked stunned. She didn't know what to expect, but the sight was amazing. Yeah, Alia smiled. She never got tired of seeing the ley lines. Since literally everything here is mana, it's the only place aurora runes are stable, even when they break.
Fucking pretty!
That's one of my favorite art pieces. The pathways are always shifting and crashing into each other, and the mana streams. She stood at the edge of the aurora rune they were standing on and took the one out of the bag. She released it into the flow of mana and watched it drift off. This looks like the crossing of 3 ley lines, in fact, judging from the paths of the mana flow. Excuse me. She stood back and looked out at the endless river of light. This is the very core of our world. Mysteria's life starts and ends here.
This is where all the spirits come from.
Kindle paused and thought back to a time where she heard that spirits came from the overflows of mana from the ley lines. The power of gay.
Welcome, Ray.
We all come from this place? Breeze was snapped out of her enthrallment of the place. She looked between Kindle and Alia.
When humans die and they happen to be exposed to massive quantities of mana at the time of their death, that mana comes here.
Kindle recalled the story she heard told by the Fire Celestial around the time she met her brothers, freshly born as a spirit.
When an overflow of that mana collects and leaks out of the ley line, a spirit is born. Isn't that right, Alia?
Yeah, you seem to know your stuff, Alia smiled.
Hanging around the Fire Celestial, you learn a lot. He and I found Turbius when they were born. They were a special case, so Ignatius told me a bit about how it all worked.
The twin thing, right? Alia asked, watching them turn around, testing the fact that Aurora runes don't explode violently, with Breeze and the three of them just tossing around various pieces to each other along the path.
Why are they letting children play with bombs?
Because the bombs don't explode in here.
This sets
Okay.
a bad precedence for them behaving in the real world.
It's fine.
It's experience, and if it explodes, it's a learning experience.
My favorite thing about Turbius is that a lot of the times they're just in the background throwing shit around. They
just what
don't
they do.
give a fuck about what's going on. They're just throwing rocks at each other.
You played Genshin, giving children bombs is normal.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Anyway. Can't say I've come across twin spirits.
Technically, they're the same spirit. Their strength is unstable. Igneous used a pair of gauntlets as their tether.
She held up her hands, flashing the golden gauntlets that shimmered amidst the bright light of the mana.
It basically divided one spirit into two identical ones. I keep an eye on them after that, in case anything went wrong, but here they are, breaking dangerous runes.
Kindle sighed with a faintly amused smile on her face. As long as it's inside here, outside might level the mountain on us. Alia snickered as she glanced at the gauntlets again, rather curious. Not just any tether could hold an unstable spirit for long. The thought about the condition of her own tether came to mind. I noticed the craftsmanship is pretty nice. Are they a masterwork?
Oh, yeah, I thought they were pretty nice too. There's definitely an earth rune melted into the metal. I wish I knew who made them.
Kindle looked the gauntlets over with admiration.
Igneous had them just lying around the shrine. He's such a weapon hoarder.
More like a combat nut.
Combat sexual?
He is. He very much is. We'll get to that later. Alia rolled her eyes, knowing exactly how much he enjoyed a fight.
You're not wrong.
Kindle smirked coyly until it registered that Alia knew him as well.
Wait, you know him too? How many Celestials have you met?
7 in total, Alia replied after taking a second to think about it. The 4 elemental celestials and 3 others, rather obscure to the current age. She placed her hands on her hips and continued to talk like it was a regular occurrence. I wouldn't say I'm particularly close with any, with the exception of Valarius and Lady Azurius. After a while of traveling with Valarius, it wasn't long before I became Lady Azurius's kinbound. Just how many Celestials exist anyway? Breeze had gotten her fill of experimenting with the Aurora runes and had been quietly listening into the conversation for a bit, taking notes again. She always thought that there were only 4. They were all she ever heard about.
That is something no spirit truly knows.
Pre answered her this time.
Except for maybe the primordial celestial herself.
The one that created the world. Alia trailed off, thinking about her and the connection to the ley lines, something she'd been looking into for a long time. I've yet to meet her in person, but I know a few who have. They say that her true body is Mysteria itself, but she has a humanoid form and wanders the land.
Find any evidence of that down there?
Kindle raised an eyebrow at Alia. Inconclusive, Alia shrugged with a defeated smirk. Years of searching them, she felt no closer to unraveling the mysteries contained within. I'm sure if I did, Lady Azurius probably would want me to keep quiet about it. There are some secrets of the ley lines that are best kept just that. That just makes me want to know more, Breeze whined, wanting her to go on.
Same.
Kindle and Turbius chimed in unison. There's no change combat not to combat sexual.
It adds flavor to the text.
Maybe I'll tell you guys more later. Alia laughed at their eager curiosity. At least what I can. Alia tilted her head back and stretched it with a yawn. She noticed something peculiar above them. A perfectly refined cube that was suspended, unmoving, even amidst the shifting aurora runes, a strange sight. As everything was always moved, even the platform they stood on was slowly drifting. It looked quite out of place. She wanted to look into it, but wasn't certain if it was one of the kept secrets, so thought it best not to draw attention to it. You know, I'm getting kind of tired. Alia snapped her fingers, and a portal to the ruins appeared again, quickly stepping through before her curiosity took over. Let's get back to the ruins before that slimy thief gets back.
Really? I feel way better being in there.
Kindle felt extremely rejuvenated after stepping out of the ley lines. All the exhaustion after expending so much mana over the course of the night was gone.
Yeah, me too.
Turbius chimed in. Not surprising. We just literally took a mana bath. Alia smirked, glad the trip not only was enlightening, but made them feel better. The mana of the ley lines replenished you guys, but I expended what was replenished for me to just open the gateway to and from. Alia walked towards one of the rooms after everyone was out of the ley lines and in the ruins. Mana is literally pouring out of the walls, so a quick nap in this place and I'll be fine in no time. Alright, break time.
Nice.
Interlude.
Record complete.
Yeah. How's it going? How you guys doing?
Munching on some good snacks today.
You got snackies? You got drinks? Remember to hydrate. Hydration. Enjoyed the gay dimension. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my favorite art pieces here. How again? There it is. He's so pretty.
So shiny and sparkly.
Nice shading, so good in it. Very shiny. Remember to stretch, Jack.
That's why it's good to like go back to things.
Yeah.
That's where all 8,745 genders are stored. Perfect.
It's true.
Everyone's welcome there. Can we just live there? When can we open up dimension and just live there?
T picking up on my foreshadowing though.
What? No.
Wait. That one I actually added in like as I was editing, right before I posted the chapter, I believe. So. Oh, wait.
Artist cackles.
I'm surrounded by laughter.
Evil writer noises.
when you what's the commit to writing, you lose all your sanity.
It's true.
True.
There's no such thing as sanity with writers.
Correct. We need to draw an evil streamworm.
Yeah. We need more members. We can't add any more right now. I think we're close to. I think once we get to 10, we get another one.
We're at 8, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Members. Members. VIP holders. Hear me out. Come get your tickets.
We have tickets. Come get
only
them.
if you can afford it.
It's true.
Don't push your funds to fund us.
Yes. That is the most important part of membership.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I mean, sanity is what most people are supposed to have, but that doesn't mean that we do.
We lost it a long time ago.
As you guys have seen from our streams.
Yeah.
That's what you guys pay for.
Yep.
Being sane is boring.
It's true. Albert? Shall we
Good to-
continue? We good? Everybody
Sounds good to
got
me.
their snackies and drinkies?
Settled in, cuddled up, wrapped up in blankies,
Some
burrito.
glasses.
Not right.
Exactly. Why have sanity when you have hot characters to simp over?
Okay. Hang on. Why do I feel like this got kerfuffled?
May have to hit.
Shotomate.
Oh no.
Music chick. Eh. Man, I fucking fixed this last night. What the fuck?
Oh no. Things just don't want to stick when you fix.
Okay, I think that's right. Maybe I just missed the track change markers.
Hmm.
Now I won't. Because I literally have it as a comment in my document. It's on the right side of my screen.
No missing.
But maybe I just didn't add them.
Oh, maybe.
I was adding more tracks to the list, so
The entire soundtrack has been shifted left one song to account for
I wouldn't be
normal amounts of
surprised.
stuff.
I was doing it on my phone.
Yep, that
So-
probably did it.
And also, most of the song titles are in Japanese, so I can't even figure out
Oh,
which one
yeah,
I'm doing. I have to
that'll
listen
do
to them
it.
back.
Yeah.
I spent like an hour yesterday fixing my playlist. I think it was like a day to cultivate it initially, so lost some songs in the gay zone. You did, but it's fine.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
What's faster, dealing with scuff or learning hiragana?
Yeah.
Mm,
Dealing with
depends.
scuff, honestly, because I did one thing of hiragana and that was it.
It's rough. Japanese is rough.
It is. Did one session. I need to go back to doing that. Look up there.
Google Translate.
But I have it all on like YouTube Music. I don't have them like downloaded. Otherwise, I would like file name change it to the translated version. But
Yeah, downloading takes up space.
yeah, and there's a lot of songs that I have on this playlist. So it is what it is. Anyway,
On to the next
on
record.
to the next one.
Let's go. Next chapter.
Record 13. Claudia entered her father's study in a fury, upset about the fact that her knights lost the spirits, Eric, and the assassin in their escape from her research facility. She froze upon seeing the head researcher sitting across the desk from her father. He flashed her his calm, unnerving smile over his shoulder, and she knew he was amused at her frustration. She collected herself, not wanting to give her that. What the fuck? What do you mean?
What's going on?
Nani?
Sorry, it's fine. I can do it manually. It's okay. Just me being angry about buttons not working. I thought I checked all of these yesterday.
Oh no.
Stream Deck go broke.
Yeah, I was being dumb. Anyway.
Oh, Stream Deck.
She collected herself, not wanting to give him the satisfaction of overseeing her toil over his own personal wishes.
Claudia, I'm glad to see you are well.
Emperor Artorius smiled upon seeing his daughter.
I was concerned after hearing what occurred last night. Emrys told me you saved him from the assassin sent by Blacksong.
She drove them off quite admirably. Golden Eyes watched her carefully for any fracture in her mask for a reaction. Given she now knew of his true identity, he informed her the night prior that some of his missing memories had returned, and he'd finally remembered that his actual name was in fact Jack Mystic, albeit it was a clever deception. He'd known all along, simply choosing to go by Emrys to avoid persecution. If she wasn't there last night, I surely would have perished and all the research was destroyed. Claudia narrowed her eyes on Jack. He didn't need to lie for her benefit. He could have just as easily gained favor by saying that he'd saved her instead. It was irritating her, to say the least. He was always had some angle. Knowing his identity, it all made sense.
Why would they target Emrys?
Artorius questioned, rather confused, completely ignorant to the true nature of the man across the desk.
Your work has done nothing but benefit the Empire. You've improved the livelihood of our people.
Blacksong was recently taken over by a spirit.
Claudia said with great disdain. Claudia found it laughable how little her father truly knew what was going on in the Empire, so it was easy to twist the truth.
Perhaps she's actually a member of the Earth Legion. Most of the guild was spirits, in fact. The humans that were with them were mostly paid off.
If so, it seems that the Earth Legion is afraid that the progress I've provided the Empire will exceed their capabilities to hinder humanity, Jack suggested calmly. Perhaps they've become aware that I was the source of the barrier that utilizes Monolantern Network to protect Lurline from their assaults.
So, they wanted to target you before they could extend to the other towns of the Empire this week.
Artorius sighed heavily.
How could they have known? It's hidden in plain sight.
Allow my knights to look for it, Father.
Claudia suggested before her father could read into it any further.
Emrys, are you still able to implement the plan at all?
Artorius looked hopeful, yet worried. Unfortunately, they destroyed the equipment and some of my notes on the subject. Jack waved his hands dramatically in defeat, still playing the victim. It'll take time to rebuild the necessary magic technology to make it function without me present.
Do what you can.
Artorius nodded.
Will your lab at Bayfagor Tower still suffice?
Most certainly, Jack nodded, quite pleased he didn't have to suggest going out there himself. He wanted to return to his work at Belphegor Tower now that his memories were returning. It'll be much faster to directly receive the materials necessary from the Picani Republic and via the bridge in Fort Soforth.
Claudia, I know you have your hands full, but would you see to it that he's safely transported there and the tower is well guarded to prevent any further attempts?
Artorius requested.
Utilize as many of the knights as you need, even outside of your division.
Yes, Father.
Claudia bowed her head respectfully as her father stood up.
You take care, Emrys.
Artorius patted Jack on the shoulder as he walked towards the door.
You've done so much for us these past couple years, we can never begin to repay you.
You flatter me, Your Highness. Jack chuckled with a half-hearted bow as Artorius left the room.
Shall we depart then?
Jack's smile had a sinister feel to it, sent the chill down Claudia. Oh, my bad. I'm skipping ahead. Hang on, let me hydrate. He is such a good, cool guy. He's not suspicious.
No.
He's a good boy. Not quite. Allow me to see to those prisoners you brought in last night. Hang on, what the fuck? Excuse you, did you break entirely?
Scott. good. Good that he's good.
Stream Deck just not happy or something else?
Is displeasing to me.
Oh. Bring it up in a window.
To the window, to the wall.
That still works.
The scuff dropped down my balls.
That still works. Okay, that worked. What the fuck? Bruh. Okay.
Stream just needs to lag so you can have bingo. You've had like 3 bingos the last
There we go, fixed it.
streams.
Don't will it into existence, Zen.
Oh, don't worry, the lag is gonna happen. Right? It happens every stream.
It does.
Without fail.
It's true. Okay, I fixed it. It's fine.
Shall we depart then?
Not quite. Allow me to see those prisoners you brought in last night. Jack's smile had a sinister feel to it that sent a chill down Claudia's spine. They could be quite useful. Claudia guided him down to the dungeons. She was bothered by the way he was practically skipping and humming along the way. Upon arriving, she stood back and watched as he paced along the cells. He was clearly looking for someone in particular, but he was enjoying seeing the miserable looks on the prisoners' faces.
Jack Mystic?
A terrified mumble escaped from a spirit cradling a small cat spirit in her arms. Mistral's one eye peered through the bars in abject horror at the man she saw standing on the other side.
You're supposed to be dead.
Clearly, it didn't stick, Jack snickered sinisterly. He recalled her inherent strength when he had first had her under his control. He could sense that, at the time, had only made her stronger. His golden eyes seemed to glow in the dim shadows of the dungeon as they settled on the one spirit. As they settled on the spirit in her arms. Mistral, right? What's your little friend's name?
April.
Mistral didn't know why she had answered. She wanted to do everything she could to keep her from him. Panic coursed through her body. April, come here. Jack snapped his fingers and the door opened on its own. April squirmed out of Mistral's tight hold and walked on over.
April, don't!
Before Mistral could finish warning her, Jack spoke again. Mistral, no need to speak out against me. He picked up April and started gently scratching the top of her head. He spoke cheerfully with a sweet smile. We're old friends, which means April's also my friend. Mistral's friend is April's friend, April happily purred. He smiled down at April, who seemed to relax in his arms. Mistral felt disheartened. Her kin, someone closer than family, was happily in the arms of the one of her worst enemies, blissfully unaware of the dangers that he posed. His words had such power over both of them. Despair was beginning to sink in. We'll do it. Nope, okay. I'm fine.
Avoided the sneeze.
Mistral, do you know whose fault it is that you ended up here? Jack asked rather amusedly, not even glancing at her. He simply smiled at April, petting her.
What? Are you saying you didn't sick your imperial lapdogs on us?
Mistral glared bitterly at Claudia behind him.
How dare!
Claudia stopped short of giving her a beating when Jack held up his hand. No, you see, I forgot your guild existed until last night. There's some holes up here. Jack tapped on his temple with a finger. Come now, Mistral. You're smart. You wouldn't have eluded capture so long without someone betraying you to the highest bidder. Jack smirked, seeing Mistral's expression shift from disbelief to bitter rage the moment she understood.
Eric Tierney!
Mistral let out a scream. It felt as if the air in the room rushed out.
That bastard sold me out. I should have turned that little rat over to the Order when I had the chance.
Let me give you the power to get your revenge. Jack was far more pleased at her reaction.
What are you doing? You can't let her walk out of here.
Claudia spoke up again. Claudia, interrupt us again and you'll be my next subject. Jack's joyful tone was so matter-of-fact, Claudia couldn't help but take a step back. She'd seen some of the subjects he'd used following the words are hard. She'd seen some of the subjects he'd used during the... Why can't I fucking speak right now? What? Am I having a stroke? Hello? She'd seen some of the subjects he'd used following the devitalization research. It wasn't a pretty sight. She shivered just thinking about it.
What do you want? That can't be all.
Mistral leered at him suspiciously.
You'd never do something like this for my sake.
All I ask for in return is that you retrieve the gun Eric was wielding and bring Alia to me safely. Jack returned to petting April, who began purring again. In the meantime, I'll keep April safe for you.
When I'm done, will you return her to me?
Mistral knew she was striking a deal with someone far worse than any demon. It was going to be impossible to defy him, and she'd never actually escape him. But this was the only way to ensure April's safety. Yes. Jack's grin widened. He could just as easily cause her to submit with the magic arts that allowed him to control spirits the world over. However, he took enjoyment in seeing someone who fought so desperately against him in the past bend to his requests. Now, Mistral, renounce your current tether and be so kind to remind me of your true name.
User and abuser.
John Trauma just making friends all over the place.
John Trauma.
That's what Zen keeps calling him. And it's perfect.
Yeah. Let me perusing my playlist, making sure it's okay.
Man, things are getting spicy. I mean, I ain't wrong. I know.
You're
not
not
wrong.
no.
There's a lot of shit going on for him. I didn't realize that these little things that I got would actually work really well.
Fidgeting nicely.
Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle.
Yeah, my little fidget boys. I'll take pictures and put them in the Discord. I got these little wood, like... They're not even really 3D puzzles. They're just like little fidget boys, but you like pop them out. And... You pop them out, peg them, and then...
Heyo?
Peg them, cog them, and then peg them again.
Heyo?
There's my unhinged. Hey, yo, Chad, how you feel about pegging? But they're like these four little fidgety things that are coast related. So there's like a stingray, a dolphin, a shark, and a Clifton Toad. And a seahorse. And they're just like these little, they have these little cog wheels on them, and I've just been kind of like messing with them as we read. And it's keeping me here. I'm glad we can still get some unhinged stuff in the stream when we're trying to be quote unquote serious.
Don't mind me, I'm just perusing Discord real quick.
Wait.
Wait.
Get all those notifications off there.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay.
Next record.
Where is it? Well, look.
Hydrate,
Hydration.
everybody. Fix your cashew-shaped bodies. Get some snackies if you don't already have them.
Music should be good.
Fingers crossed.
Lead the way.
No!
You.
It's me!
Record 14.
Record 14. That does not start off with narration. I'm back.
Eric entered the ruins with a bag full of goods in hand.
Tell me, did you guys miss me?
I was beginning to wonder if you never would return.
Kindle voiced deadpan from her perch on the broken pillar.
You missed me.
Eric gave a smug smirk with a nod.
It's okay to admit it.
I can see why Aria thinks you're annoying.
Kindle rolled her eyes, but couldn't help but hide her smile entirely. Eric glanced around, tossing the bag to Turbius for the twins to rifle through the selection of alcohol bottles and food that he'd picked up. Breeze was sitting on the ground in a corner, flipping through a couple of her notebooks, recent and older, with Pri looking down at them as well. Oh, hang on. Okay, there we go. He didn't see Alia around.
Where is our fair ice queen anyway? She's still sleeping.
Tur pointed to the room she was in. She seemed pretty wiped not long after you left, Bias stated as he pulled out a bottle of whiskey, excited by the fact that it wasn't the only bottle of alcohol in there.
I thought spirits didn't need sleep.
Eric tilted his head curiously. Every spirit he'd ever met never actually slept. Though he could outdrink some to the point of passing out, so it didn't seem too unlikely.
Is sleeping fun? I've never tried it.
Breeze looked up from her books.
Alia seems to do it a lot. It does tend to fall into the things that spirits do that are optional, since spirits technically only need mana to survive.
Pri explained.
It still can benefit us, though. It most certainly improves memory, like with humans, and allows for speedy recovery of injuries and mana.
He's used up a lot of mana lately.
Kindle recalled Alia's use of multiple powerful arts, a high magic art among them, in the research facility, following that accessing the ley lines was sure to take quite a bit out of her as well. Eric wandered over to the entryway of the room Alia was resting in. Curious if she was actually asleep. She was indeed sleeping peacefully, resting on the ground on her side, with her back to the wall. She had removed her long jacket and rolled it up and used it as a pillow, while her belts and dagger were neatly piled just above her head. Eric looked back at the others to see what they were up to. Kindle seemed to be distracted with sorting through a collection of alcohol bottles with her brothers. Breeze and Pri seemed to be quietly discussing something that was in one of her notebooks, judging by how intently they were looking over one. He couldn't help but wander into the room. No one was watching, and Alia seemed so ravishing, not having a bitter, cold expression on her face for once. As he got closer, he noticed a marking just under her collarbone he didn't recall seeing before. He carefully crouched down next to her to get a better look, but her hair was in the way. Slowly ran his fingers through her thick, wavy hair and brushed it out of the way. A scar that was precise but looked as though it healed poorly a long time ago and ran from her shoulder to shoulder. Another branched off of it straight down the center of her chest, disappearing into her cleavage. And her low-cut black teal strapless shirt. Yes, checking on someone.
This is wholesome.
Alia stirred, having felt the movement of her hair across her skin. Her eyes cracked open for a moment. She was reaching up to brush her hair out of the way. She looked at Eric drearily for a moment, till his surprised retreat as he leaned away from her finally registered with her. "What the hell are you doing?" Alia quickly sat up and punched him, knocking him backwards to the ground. Her hostile gaze was fixed on him as she stood up.
What? Me?
He laughed it off as he sat up, trying not to show how much it hurt. She was always much stronger than he'd expected.
Trying to steal a kiss, of course.
Ugh, you're despicable! Alia snatched up her coat and dagger and stormed out of the room. She noticed Kindle looking her way and stormed past towards the ruin's entrance. I'll be outside if you need me. Eric heard the stone doors slam shut. He was sitting on the ground, cross-legged, with his broadsword resting across his lap. He needed a moment to try and process what he'd seen. He couldn't fathom what wound could have caused a scar like that one, or how much pain it would have caused her.
What did you do?
Kindle poked her head into the door and glared at the back of his head.
Hey, Kindle?
Eric's head remained down, so he looked at the fire rune embedded in his sword with a pained expression.
Do you know anything about Alia's scar?
What scar?
Kindle looked at him confused. She tilted her head, trying to recall if she had ever saw a scar on Alia, but her skin always seemed flawless to her.
She has a scar?
Never mind then.
Eric stood up, a bit disappointed, resigning to the fact that his imagination would run wild thinking about what might have happened to her, since he knew he wasn't getting anything out of Alia about it. After taking a deep breath, he turned to Kindle, and as he placed his sword on his back, he figured if Kindle didn't know, then it would be likely a touchy subject for Alia. After all, he had the impression that they were closest in the group.
I was just wondering if broke her heart is all.
He said with a cocky smile.
You're a weird one, you know that?
Kindle leered at him as he walked past her towards the entrance. Kindle thought it was a bad idea for him to go, but after her, she wasn't gonna directly stop him.
You sure you want to do that?
Persistence and patience is key. Persistence and patience is key in being a thief.
He turned around and walked backwards towards the door, and as he smirked, pointing at the air as he explained his motives.
And I plan on stealing her heart.
She hates your guts!
Kindle looked at him as though he were insane.
And?
Eric shrugged it off, turning back towards the door. Kindle shook her head at him, fully expecting to see him rather beat up if he came back at all. Late afternoon light was barely filtered through the towering treetops. Leaves rustled and fell in the swift breeze that made its way through the forest. The air outside was surprisingly warm for the shady mountain forest. A sweet floral scent filled the air, though there were no flowers in sight. Alia was off to the far east corner of the main building, sitting on top of a relatively tall pile of large stone blocks that looked as though they were used to build the place. She was leaning back with her arms outstretched behind her to support her. She had her eyes closed, enjoying the breeze, since it reminded her of Zephyr. She heard a heavy door to the ruins open and close again. She sighed in annoyance as she listened to the steps echoed out of the tunnel and continued on to approach her. Would you give it a rest? She growled as she opened her eyes and glowered at Eric. I came out here to get away from you.
And yet here I am.
Eric flashed a roguish smirk as he waved his hands in front of him with a slight bow. What's your deal? Alia hissed under her breath. This human was really getting on her nerves.
I could ask you that.
Eric shrugged, leaning against one of the large blocks of stone that was significantly taller than him.
You haven't been nothing but cold since we met.
He didn't sound the least bit bothered. What? Are you saying you don't deserve it? Alia raised an eyebrow at him.
Well, it's not like I did anything directly against you.
Eric tilted his head back to look up at her. She was leering into the forest, tilting her head with suspicion. Her attention was quickly diverted off of him, which made him rather concerned.
Something up?
Quiet, Alia voiced in a hushed tone as she was trying to listen carefully to the sound of the forest.
Hydrate.
Hydrate. My mouth's very dry today. she noticed that the wind had completely changed the direction and speed. All of it was a little too sudden change to be natural. The leaves began to quiver and shake, and the branches bowed heavily in the approaching gust.
No way. He tracked me here?
Eric recognized the wind pattern. It wasn't the first time he'd experienced it. Instinctively, he drew his sword and looked in the direction it came from. He was on edge. He was on edge, but as a gust of wind got closer and closer. I guess you were useful after all. Alia stood on top of the pile of stones. Let's see. That one. Sorry. Wind too big. Speeds per fast. You windy.
Damn it, windy.
Okay, sorry, I lost my place. He was on edge. The gust of wind got closer and closer. I guess you were useful after all. Alia stood up on the pile of stone with a slight smirk on her face. It had been a long time, so she didn't recognize it right away as her brother's wind until it got close.
I found you, Eric Tierney.
Too many characters. Hang on. Sorry.
You're good.
There it is. Boom! A deep voice was carried along the wind, manifesting from thin air. A wind spirit appeared mere feet away from Eric. He dashed straight for Eric, armed with two blades, with a particular handle attached a third of the way down at the length of the curved blades, which shared the same teal-green color of his messy shoulder-length hair that was not really contained by his dark green headband. Hold it, Zephyr! Alia raised her voice, and Zephyr immediately stopped in his tracks before they could clash blades. He looked up, not having noticed Alia was there until she spoke. She jumped down and started slowly walking towards Zephyr with a pretty neutral expression on his face.
Alia, what are you doing here with him?
Zephyr pointed with one of his blades in Eric's direction, a look of disapproval in his golden eyes as he looked between the two of them.
I do not approve.
You know what I don't approve of? Alia smiled for a moment, but as she clenched her fist, her expression quickly shifted to a fiery rage and uppercutted Zephyr in the chin, knocking him up a few feet in the air before he landed flat on his back on the ground. Eric instantly covered his mouth in shock and stifled the laughter, not wanting to be her next target. You bet Regulus and lost to a scumbag of a human, and you dare to associate me with him? She yelled at Zephyr.
It's not my fault.
Zephyr's voice wavered as he held his jaw in astonishment as he sat up. She caught him off guard, and she was much stronger than he was used to her being. Yes, family abuse. It's all in good fun.
They're spirits. It's fine.
They can take it. Especially him. He can take it.
With the tactical mantit window, he can handle it.
Oh, yeah. He pointed at Eric, now panicked by the wrath of his sister.
He can outdrink even a spirit. He can't be trusted.
I'm well aware of that. She shot a glare in Eric's direction, practically jumped out of his skin. All Eric's instincts were screaming to run, but he knew that he could never outrun them both. He was slightly relieved when she closed her eyes inside. He betrayed Blacksong, nearly got myself and the other spirits with us killed, then he turned on the Empire, too.
Is that why their knights are abuzz? No, I actually want to kill him.
Zephyr got to his feet and glared over at Eric.
Eric, you better give that gun back to me now, or I'm taking it off your dead body.
Doubt it. You've had plenty of chances to kill me, but you haven't yet.
Eric shrugged with a smirk. He saw Alia's fuming glower directing towards Zephyr still. Figured that she wasn't through chewing him out yet.
That was then. This is now. I brought my little sister into this. Prepare to die.
Zephyr was about to charge him again, but Alia grabbed his pale green shirt with one hand and slapped him with the other. I'm not done with you, Alia yelled.
Ow! When did you get so strong?
Zephyr pouted as he rubbed his cheek. How could you wager Regulus? That gun is dangerous. Captain Thatch entrusted that to you, and you gambled it away? To that guy? Her furious glare, accompanied by a frequent waving of her hands towards Eric.
He has a point.
Eric nodded as though he was completely agreed with her, but he was glad. He was just glad it wasn't him. Shut up, you're next. Alia snapped, glaring over at him. He immediately looked up and away like he was a child that did something wrong.
I feel like I've been afraid of the wrong sibling until now.
Eric quietly whispered to himself, looking down nervously.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Hang on, where is this? Sorry, I'm just checking. Okay. It's really hard to see with my filter on. My markers. Zephyr avoided direct eye contact with her, looking rather defeated.
Honestly, after you left, my self-control slowly went downhill from there.
Don't you put this on me, Alia pointed her finger at him.
I'm not!
He raised his voice and looked her in the eye.
Look, I've been ignoring my responsibilities. I didn't realize how much until he won from that Wait, what?
Until he won that.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much until he won that from me. I need that gun back so I can get my act together.
I want it fair and square.
Eric placed his hand over the gun defensively.
Also, I really enjoy using it. It's pretty handy.
I challenge you again.
Zephyr pointed one of his blades in Eric's direction.
Same thing as usual.
Oh, you're on. I'll wipe the floor with you again.
Eric perked up at the thought of challenging him without Alia joining. He could handle Zephyr on his own, no problem, but the thought of Alia going all out against him terrified him. Sounds like this wasn't the first time, Alia mumbled, crossing her arms as she rolled her eyes.
And then they banged.
Well, from what I've gathered, Zephyr is the master of blowing.
Woo!
All that wind gusting about.
Oh, wait, so does that make Zephyr the bottom? Eric's the top? I mean, Eric's already out drinking, right? So Eric's the top in this
I mean, this is the
relationship.
first time I've been introduced to Zephyr, and it began with him getting tossed around,
By
so...
his little sister.
Perfect.
I'll let y'all have whatever headcanons you want for this.
And then they banged hard. Anyway,
They do have such a bromance, though. It's great.
Zephyr's the bottom. Eric is the power bottom.
It's true.
Woo! Okay. That's because my man Zephyr and I were good friends before I won this off of him.
Eric waved Regulus around in the air with a cheeky smile on his face. Really? Alia scoffed, glancing over her shoulder at Zephyr to confirm, which he nodded. Her expression turned a little bitter as she looked back at Eric. Seems to me you're full of nothing but lies and betrayal.
Can't be a traitor if the only side I'm on is my own.
Eric shrugged nonchalantly, but Alia could tell he didn't believe that from the strange look in his eye. If that's true, then why did you risk your life for me? Alia recalled the moment he stepped in to take a shot from the devitalization weapon for her. It seemed so out of character for him, since he'd been so egotistical and selfish since she'd met him.
You kidding?
Sanji Zoro energy. Kinda, yeah. Eric scoffed as he pointed towards Zephyr.
Zephyr would have killed me for sure if I let you die. You living meant I'd survive.
Why did I expect anything less from you? She sighed as she shook her head. Look, how about before you two make fools of yourselves with whatever you're about to do, you boys make a bet on me instead.
What do you have in mind?
Zephyr tilted his head curiously, sheathing his blades, leaving them hanging off of the back of his belt. I'm gonna open the doors to these ruins. Alia crossed her arms confidently, with a slight air of adventurous curiosity in her eyes. Whoever guesses what's inside correctly gets the gun, and if neither of you do, I decide what will be done with it.
Can you really open that thing?
Eric looked skeptical, since the odds were definitely stacked against him.
My rail burst cannon. That's a sex thing. That is a sex
You
thing.
didn't notice that from the first time? He used that to destroy the cannon. Anyway.
My rail burst cannon didn't even put a scratch on that thing. What can you do to open it?
Not using force, for one thing. Alia leered at him with annoyance that it was...
That's up there with the cable. God, it sucks that that game is trash. It's okay. I'll just look up the rest of the Remnant names and tell them to you guys. Anyway.
Alia leered at him with annoyance that he was underestimating her. It probably has all sorts of binding magic arts on it, which is my specialty. Also, there's always a trick to opening ancient doors. I'm sure this one is no different.
Whatever it is, it's probably dangerous.
Zephyr placed his hand on his chin as he contemplated what could be inside based on what he knew from previous exploration of ruins from the same age.
Or it could be valuable.
Eric beamed at the thought of some ancient treasure. Whatever it is, it's sealed in a temple, so it's likely both. Alia placed her hands on her hips as she looked over at the temple ruins. So, do you boys want to be more specific?
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of a demon. Back in the Age of Darkness, they used to capture dangerous demons more often than kill them.
You aren't wrong, Alia smiled, as she thought about what could be inside herself. The Age of Darkness is particular. The Age of Darkness in particular was pretty known for that, but they also regarded masterworks or cursed weapons as dangerous, sealing them away as well.
Couldn't they have just been saving them for a rainy day?
Eric tilted his head as he thought about it. Either way, it is a possibility, Alia shrugged, not having considered the thought before.
Well, I'll go with that if that's what you think it is.
Eric grinned. I never said that. Alia rolled her eyes as she started walking towards the entrance of the ruins. Sorry. You two picked the most likely things, though, so let's go see what it really is. The men followed her into the ruins. She paused in the middle of the entry hall and looked at the other companions that were idling away. Hey guys, we're heading down to open the sealed door. You wanna come? Of course! Breeze jumped up, excited about documenting the whole process. Ready?
Sorry, I was reading chat.
You're good.
Can we break it?
Turbius, we're both always ready to break something that was unbreakable. Pretty sure force won't work from what Eric said. Alia laughed at their enthusiasm. That's probably some magic art stopping it, but if we need any demolition, you two can cover it.
So, who's the breath of fresh air?
Kindle slid up next to Zephyr with a coy smirk.
Oh my god.
I like her already.
Am I flirting with myself?
Yes, you are! No! It's time to riz yourself, Pyle. Let's fucking go!
Self-love! Zephyr laughed at her joke as he whispered to Alia. Meet my brother Zephyr. Alia presented her brother with both hands. This is Kindle. She pointed at Kindle, directing her... words. She pointed at Kindle before directing his attention to Turbius. Her brother's Turbius. She pointed to Breeze, who was hovering off the ground by the archway that led deeper into the ruins, but realized she didn't see Bree. The floating one in the back is Breeze, and her kin is around here somewhere. His name is Pre. Master just went to go look at the door, Breeze informed. He said it sounded familiar. In fact, we were searching my notes for whatever it was, but never found anything in the stories he told me. I'm surprised you didn't go with. Alia raised an eyebrow. He insisted I stay, Breeze shrugged. I figured you'd go later anyway. You sounded so interested on the way here. Later is now, Alia nodded cheerfully as she started to head further into the ruins. Let's go. I'm gonna open it. And that's the chapter.
Awesome. Do you perhaps have a drawing of Sigmus that I could look at?
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, I do. Here, I'll pull it up here.
I need vocal reference.
Good
Yep.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smash or pass? Smash.
Smash. We'll do smash or pass on the characters at some point.
I think the answer is as long as they are over the age of 18, as long as they are of age, the answer is a smash. Except for Jack. And Claudia.
Oh, but I'd smash them both.
No.
The true pan experience. Evil is hot.
I have no problem with smashing evil, just not those ones.
They're pretty vindictive.
I have lines, and they crossed them.
Not manipulative evil.
95% smash rate. But we do it anyway.
Smash or snug, pretty much.
What a fault! What a smash
I
that
know.
snug. I'd like to cuddle up to Sigmus. Anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys will get him soon.
He's
hot.
I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. So
Yeah, I think I need more drinks, so
Cool.
just finish mine off.
Well, if you want to go,
Intermission.
y'all want to go first, I'll hang out with the chat, and then after that, I'll take the pupper out.
Sounds good.
Ooh, we be back, Jet.
Awesome. How's it going today, chat?
Oh shit, this is the
Enjoying
special
yourself so
chapter.
far?
Oh my god.
The special chapter AO.
You guys might want headphones, by the way. AO? Yes.
Okay, I got my earbuds at the ready. Apparently, this is the special chapter, chat. What's gonna happen? Make sure to stay tuned to find out. I want to find out. Oh no, that sounded like a threat.
More for me.
More for you. Ooh, got D&D coming up, Zen. Nice, that's gonna be fun. I bless your day with good rolls. Have a good one. Get them natty 20s. Oh, it's been a while since I played D&D. Actually, I think the last thing I played was a Cthulhu campaign, and that was forever ago. Oh, yeah, right, me too. I am jumping in so blind voicing these characters. I honestly feel kind of bad. I need to catch up. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I just need to catch up. Thankfully, I have the document now, so I can just read up later. There we go.
Watch the old streams, or
Yeah,
I also have the properly written stuff. There's links in the description.
Cool. Yeah, I was thinking since I have work tomorrow, if I can be my work binge for the day is just catch up on Mysteria stuff. See what kind of shenanigans you and Aria got into. All right, the witch has.
Hear our shitty Irish accents.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because we did poor Irish accents for Turbius in the beginning.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was bad.
All right. Well, the witch has returned. I will be right back, chat.
Yeah. Crime time. I'm here, bitch. What the fuck you mean? You just want to commit crimes. Sometimes. Little theft sounds good right now. Yes, if you guys want to audition for the podcast audiobook version of this, I'm gonna do very nice. Like, I'm gonna have the music over it, and then there's gonna be some a few sound effects, ambiance, and all that fun stuff, and voices for every character. So if you guys want to audition, the link is also in the description.
Do it, cowards.
Yeah, do it.
Also, you wanna like.
Oh, are you funny? Oh yeah, you looking a little funny.
I've just been looking like this the whole time.
Here, let's do the thing. Hiya. Always angry. Oh, you're calibrated. Should I fiddle it with your smile? Is that what we need to do?
Possibly the smile and the eyes. I can open mine up real quick and see if that will be the same. Because I'm just sitting there like looking like I'm sculling the whole time. I'm like,
Angie.
I'm not Angie to be here doing voices, bro.
You're Angie for when you're Mistral. Mistral's
I
an
guess
Angie
so.
girl. Yeah, I hope you're ready for future rage for her.
Oh.
She just gets angrier.
Oh.
Because her situation sucks.
Well. But her dad has massive Bahana Lagangas. I mean, I guess it is her dad, so I guess. But.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't share the wait. That was the wrong button, but that's fine. We can have that song, that's fine.
That's the song you get now.
I showed the art, but I didn't show Artorias' character profile.
Oh, yeah.
Hot man is hot.
I would smash. I want to put my face in his titties.
Your mong is gonna hug on the bunkaroos.
Yes. I just want to put my face in the titties. Anyway,
what's the fucking
mouth smile is pretty far down. It's a little.
open eye, brow height, smile.
I have the max set to 1 and negative 0.5.
Negative 0.5. I have it set to -1.
Yeah, that's what mine was, and I fixed it to the negative 0.5 because, like, then I'm like smiling, but then not like overly happy all the time. It just makes it so I'm not frowning.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I changed anything for depth. I think I said the eyes, both eyes, to the out being 2, and yeah, the max being 2, and the min being 0.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Same.
It'll probably be better now. Yay! I don't look angry right now.
Feels. Looking for
Embo ruler?
Kinda, yeah.
He definitely has the build. Man, built different.
He is. I look forward to getting more into Artorias stuff, but I haven't gotten back to that yet in the writing. Later, yeah. It's a lot of stuff with him and Lance, and I'm excited for that. But nobody knows who Lance is yet unless T's gotten that far.
At some point.
He's a pretty. I love him. I'm not nervous, you're nervous.
No. Just all on you. Sorry to tell you. A flail.
Wait. No, he has a spear, bitch. Pretty on the point. Let me make sure I'm on the right song, because I'm worried I'm missing tracks. I'm gonna skim through some music real quick, chat.
Just don't mind it. So should plug into yours?
Yeah. Well, it's plugged into the monitor right now. That's where the audio's going. So, yeah, just plug into the. Yeah, you're plugged in already, so you're fine.
Oh, there's a noodle.
There is a noodle.
Hi, baby. Hello.
She's a good girl.
Cute girl. Squeeze. I'm sorry.
She's been very sleepy.
You sleepy girl.
Yeah, I think we're okay. I don't think I missed any last chapter.
She's just right there.
Oh. Here?
Yes.
Oh gosh, my first time using earbuds with long hair. This is going to be interesting.
You'll get used to it.
Oh, I think my earbuds got caught in the wheel.
Oh, here. I'll stand up.
No, that's the one I'm in.
Oh, okay.
How that happened?
Happens.
It's fine.
Wheels are funny that way.
I do prefer wired over Bluetooth, but wired does have its downfalls.
It is, anything with long hair is a skill that you need to learn.
Don't mind this. Just turn that down a little bit. Okay. I gotta pee first.
It's
I'm
fine.
not delaying. I promise. I actually do have to pee.
It's okay, we just all know that this is subverting.
Tea.
I don't know what you're subverting for.
Okay.
It's okay, Jay, you just
Piss the fear away.
I mean,
I currently am growing out my hair, but right now I got my first wig a couple days ago, so I've been getting used to that.
Yeah.
And I try to get it as close to my natural hair color as possible. But oh, thank you. But yeah, it's gonna take quite some time for my hair to fully grow in. So this in the meantime, and I actually ordered 2 more wigs off of Temu that are gonna come.
Nice.
So that's a good way to workshop wigs in a much cheaper fashion, because this one was it's on the lower end, but it was still a bit of money.
Yeah, I mean, wigs are-
Not too bad though. And hopefully once I put some fabric softener in this, it'll be much more
yeah.
easy to control, because right now it's frizzy as hell.
Yeah, the fabric softener trick is really good for that. For your natural hair, though, if you use like castor oil, if you can find a castor oil that doesn't have soy in it,
Yeah.
which I think there is some out there, but castor oil is supposed to help promote hair growth, and then
Mhm.
also like either taking biotin supplements or finding hair care products that have biotin and collagen in them. will
Gotcha.
also.
Cool, I have to give that a shot.
There's something for you too, chat.
Awesome. Yeah, but yesterday I took the first photo of myself ever in my entire life that I didn't hate, and so that made me very happy.
Yay! The titty skittles are working.
Only a month and a half. Mainly it was just the hair and being able to dress properly and stuff. But I don't think, of course, I'm perceiving myself, so it's not necessarily a good metric to go off, but I don't feel like much has changed yet.
I mean, it's still pretty early, but as
Yeah.
long as like you're happy with yourself, that's the part that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
So as long as you're starting to feel comfortable with yourself.
Absolutely. And it's more like feeling comfortable this early on definitely gives me hope that things will be even better in the future.
Yeah. Comfy.
Comfy in my flesh suit.
yes, that is important.
We can be comfy in our VTuber suit, but feeling comfy in your flesh suit is also nice.
Yes.
I know. I was letting my my natural hair out just because there was a whole slew of things going on. But my hair was natural until last night, where I was like, "Tonight's the night."
I noticed it was more vibrant.
It's because I bleached it all again.
That's why.
Yeah, I
Okay.
bleached it. Oh yeah, because it's pink, so you can't see it. I bleached it all last night, and it's all pink again.
Very
It's a
nice.
different shade than what I'm used to, but it's because the bleach didn't like turn out. I think my hair resisted the bleach.
Gotcha.
I think my hair was like,
No, what are you doing?
so it's like kind of it's different, but it is pink again, and it's
Awesome.
weird because I got used to my natural hair again. So I'm like, whoa, wow, colored hair. That's not on my VTuber model. My aim is to do hair like my VTuber model someday.
That'd be cute.
That's gonna take some time. I needed to get the bleach going first, so
Nice.
I wish I could go white, but I cannot.
Well,
That would fry my hair.
yeah, you can. It's just fucking hard.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna destroy my hair that much.
No.
White
stick
hair is
with blue.
aesthetic, but it's more of a space for the animu.
Yeah. I mean, but there's wigs.
Yeah.
You always wear a wig.
I love wearing my white hair wigs because they look so good with my skin.
Nice.
That's why I do pink. Pink looks nice. Anyway.
Get comfy. Speaking of comf,
Get comfy
Get
before
comfy
things
in
go
a-
wrong.
in a other comf sense. Okay.
I mean,
Slurp.
one of the fun things you can do with dyed hair, you can do the tips, or like you can do like a peak. You get the peekaboo. You can get like the underside of your hair colored, and that can be.
Bitch, I go through so much stress. I should have white hair by now.
Oh.
I actually have found a couple of gray hairs in my hair, and I bring it up to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I found my first gray hair. She's like, yeah. So I'm like, shut up. This is important, okay? I'm like, I should not be having gray hair right now.
And my grandma got gray hair pretty early, and her hair ended up turning super light too.
Mhm.
She's got like that platinum fucking
My
Gray,
grandpa went
but-
gray at like 18.
yeah. Mine was pretty early too, and I like have a lot of grandma's genetics right now with all my fucking health conditions. So I'm like, where's mine? I want white hair already. Give it to me.
I will actually take the natural white hair.
Let my hair go gray already. I'm looking forward to it. I'll
Are
stop
you-
dyeing my hair then. That's not true. I'll do some like tips or streaks.
Yeah, those are. You have a natural.
Oh, hi,
streak of
honey.
white
Oh,
in
you're
your hair?
turning my chair. You're turning my chair.
Wait, but I want to know.
Oh, good girl. There, now you get the pats. Good girl.
Oh wow.
Fun.
Also, yes. So, like, I thought my hair was going really, really thin, and I think it did for a little bit when I was working in production and just like having a really bad time in life. But I think it's thickened up, and I've been using, like I was saying, the biotin and collagen hair care products. So I think it's like really helped fix my hair.
Awesome.
But when I was like bleaching and dyeing last night, I was like, why the fuck do I have so much hair? Why is it so hard to separate this? And then I had to actually re-dye my hair this morning because like around my roots, some of the pink didn't take. And I was like, that's not right. And I had to go for round 2.
I know my hair is so fucking dummy thick. It's frustrating. That's why I keep it short.
Yeah.
I would have hair as long as my model here, but
a
it's
lot of
such a
hair.
pain to fucking take care of.
Yeah, my hair looks silly right now in the beginning growing stage because it's about an inch long at this point, but it just sticks straight up.
It's okay.
It
It's
used-
just funny.
It needs to grow
sometimes.
longer to its floofy point.
Yeah, it's growing pains, but it'll be. That's why we have wigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we
And my
can just
first time
enjoy
having a ponytail ever. I love it.
Yeah. I know you
Ponytails
can do
are
all
fun.
kinds of fun hairstyles now. You can do the braids and stuff.
Yeah.
An experiment.
Yeah. Anywho's.
Anyway.
That's right. We got to get to the stuff that has
Stuff
Sumi
and
worried.
things. It just make me nervous, okay? I did a special thing for this chapter. and,
Oh.
yeah, I'm nervous, okay? Anyway.
All right, let's fucking go so we can make Sumi uncomfortable.
Uncomfy, it's fine.
She's been uncomfy all morning. This is
I have.
not new.
I was able to ignore it up until now, and then like this morning I've just been like so fucking nervous. That's why we spent like 2 hours watching otters.
So that's what that was for.
I mean,
so I could calm the fuck down.
It's kind of our ritual anyway.
Yeah,
like whenever we stream, we
That's
just
why I
watch
thought about it. I
animals.
was like,
I just watched.
I need to do something to distract myself. Wait, we usually watch otters before stream. I'm gonna go put them on.
Yeah.
And I just got in from shopping. I was like, babies.
Yeah,
squeaky
I didn't know there was a
otters.
meaning for the
They
squeaky
make me
boys.
comfy.
That's why I fucking love otters, dude.
They're so cute.
They're pure serotonin.
They are.
They're squeaky and they're silly and they wiggle when they try to get dry.
It's so cute. Yeah, that's why we watch animal videos. We
Mhm.
either watch like capybara or otters or whatever, foxes,
Yeah.
whatever happens to pop up on the Arcade Alice channel, and we just watch that for a couple hours
Mhm.
before stream. Not usually to like calm down, just because it's there.
Yeah. And it's just become a comfort for me, I guess.
I mean, they are comfy. They're cute little noodles.
When you feel sad, watch otters.
that you can't be upset.
You can't be upset watching otters.
Go watch Kotaro and Hana.
Yeah.
They're
I think their channel's called Kotsume.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We can link it in the Discord.
They are kind of like
They are
stringworms.
stringworms.
Can you
living
guys
stringworms with paws.
can you guys squeak and chat instead of bark?
Oh, whoa.
Hana makes the
Hana
funniest
makes so-
noises.
Hana's just like a fucking broken scooter.
That's what I said earlier. That's so funny.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway. Feral fox noises. Which is also funny. Foxes are so silly.
Fair. When we turned Neko into a stringworm, she did turn into a fox, so.
It's true. Our little pipe fox.
Fox cat.
Anyway, no more delaying. Let's go.
Music is set. I think everything should be working order. For a moment, the music stopped. I was like, wait. What are you
No.
doing?
No.
It's just the track starting over.
Faded.
It's just loop. Okay. Hola. Following the stairwells down deep underground, the mana grew denser. Eventually, Kindle didn't even need to light the way anymore due to the amount of mana floating around the air. It looked like fireflies, illuminating every crevasse while floating listlessly. As they crossed the long halls to the next set of stairs, on every floor, they passed many empty rooms, some large, some small, all clearly looted over the years. A few with holes into lower floors, gashes in the stone that looked as though a fight took place long ago. Sorry, nerves are getting me. The closer I get to it.
Read, you coward!
I'm doing it, okay? It's fine. I already committed to this forever ago.
You can
I
tap
committed
out.
to this a month ago, okay?
You can tap out if you need to.
No, it's fine.
Read, gamer.
I'm doing it, okay. About a dozen floors down, the overall architecture shifted from warm, colorful, painted lava rock to more precise stonework that almost seemed seamless and consisted of marble with obsidian accents. There weren't many side rooms like the upper levels. There were a few that had stone doors on them, still looked sturdy and untouched by time. The final floor, just off the stairway, was a large, expansive room that stretched wide underneath the whole temple. They followed the obsidian path amidst the marble tiles to a room with a large archway for entry. The square-shaped room was lined with obsidian and marble floor tiles in the rings of varying thicknesses and only broken by an 8-pointed star, similar to the sunny emblem that was outside the temple. On the far wall, was a large round obsidian vault-like door that filled the whole wall. 2 beveled rings on the door itself, as well as a frame around it, had faded and worn hieroglyphic text. The walls were horizontally ribbed marble, and the ceiling consisted of lines of wide marble tiles with small series of holes in them, resting between some extremely thin obsidian lines.
I didn't think I'd be seeing you out down here so soon.
Pree's ears flicked toward the sound as he heard their footsteps approach. He was standing just in front of the door. He turned around and greeted them cheerfully.
This door is rather fascinating. There are so many magic arts layered on top of each other, and there's an intricate puzzle lock.
He turned back to face the door.
Someone went to great lengths to seal off whatever is on the other side.
Well, we are going to open it, Alia stated rather confidently, looking it over with her hands on her hips.
What?
Pree's fur puffed up out of shock and nerves.
If something this complex has been here for thousands of years, then wouldn't whatever is behind such a door be dangerous?
His ears turned down and his tail flicked timidly.
I admit I'm curious myself, but I'm not so sure it would be a good idea.
There it goes. The burps have been a little weird today, like it usually does. We'll be fine, Alia shrugged with a smile. I don't doubt that we can handle it.
The Zephyr?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I was trying to scroll through, but it was lagging on me.
Oh, yeah.
You're
It might be getting too big. I might have to delete some of the older stuff.
good, you're good.
This writing is quite strange.
Zephyr leaned in, observing the faded hieroglyphs, noticing that there were two different sets and from different ages.
Skoto symbols and Sidereus scripts are on here.
You did good.
Sorry. New words.
I know, they're funny words.
I'm guessing this area is added just after the Age of Darkness, at the beginning of the Age of Stars.
Can you read it? Alia only knew a bit of Sidereus' script and from what Zephyr had taught her, and the time she spent in the ruins from the Age of Stars. She had hardly ever seen Skotos, so she could identify it, but she couldn't read it. I know the Age of Darkness was a bit before your time, old man.
What are you calling me old for?
Zephyr glared over his shoulder at her. She gave him a look of fake innocence. He sighed and rolled his eyes, turning his attention back to the text on the door.
It's a bit worn here and there, especially on the outer ring, but I think I can figure it out.
He took a moment to read it over, to try and process the shifting between languages and make contextual guesses on what was unreadable.
The outer ring seems like a warning on what's inside, but it doesn't go into specifics. Something about an eternal fire forge lost to madness.
Sounds like a weapon to me.
Eric shrugged with a smug smirk.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Kendall looked at him out of the corner of her eye, with her hands on her hips. Eric didn't pay her any mind. He was just holding on to whatever hope he could that he was right.
The middle one seems like it might be instructions.
Zephyr started reading it aloud.
The points of the star gathered by the sword, and the four corners shine a light from above. A glow that...
He paused as he struggled to read the next set of characters, a bit too worn to decipher properly.
Is it shows or maybe breaks? This next part is way too faded. Pretty sure the rest is about right.
Appears so.
Pri was able to read both languages quite well himself.
I believe this character refers to sound, isn't it?
Pri pointed to the partial symbol among the faded ones that was barely legible, but he recognized it as a Skotos symbol that was pretty unique in the language.
You can read it too, little man?
He smiled down at the little fox, a bit surprised he could read such an old language.
Yes, sirree. Once upon a time, I used to spend a lot of time in Museum Library learning about the world.
Pri swung back and forth on his paws with a cheery demeanor.
Eventually, I decided it would be a grander time to go and see it. To go see it all and gain quite the passion for adventuring while doing so.
Well, even though this one refers to sound, in most cases it depends on the characters before it.
Zephyr looked over the faded symbol Pri was referring to.
It also means forbidden.
As the points of the star gather. Alia repeated the words as she looked at the star pattern on the floor. She crouched down near one of the points of the star and brushed the dust away to reveal a thin flap that goes into the ground with a light push. Looking inside, she made a note of the curvature of the bottom of the space. She smiled and had a slight idea of what to do. Everyone, if you would, please stand in the archway. I would rather not accidentally injure any of you. As everyone moved out of the way, she dusted off more obscure points of the large star on the floor. She stood in front of everyone with a better sense of where all 8 slots were. She held her hands out and took a deep breath. Steady as the frost, weight of the cost. 8 glyphs appeared above each point of the star as she casted. Nothing left to gain, sword rain. Out of each glyph dropped a thin curved blade of ice that was the typical of the Age of Darkness. They fit perfectly into each slot, resting at a slight angle away from the center.
I see you've taken a page out of Leo's book.
Zephyr wasn't entirely surprised since she always mimicked offensive magic arts. He was a little surprised by how she made so many without effort. It had been a long time since he'd seen her, and the strength she possessed seemed far greater than he thought possible from her. Well, it's nothing compared to his forge style. Alia smiled as she walked over and ever so slightly pushed one of the blades to test to see if it moved at all. His weapons don't break, mine can. Although I might have the advantage of speed. She confidently placed her hands on her hips. Then again, it could be different now. It's been about 200 years since I've seen him use his earth forge.
You know I would like to see you two go at it. You've gotten quite strong.
Perhaps a bit of sparring once we can find him next. Alia snickered as she turned her attention back to the task at hand. Next step now. Alia clapped her hands together and turned to everyone. Might actually be better if we do them all at the same time to be safe. Ancient mechanisms love their synchronicity. There are 8 of us, so we can all simultaneously push the swords like a lever towards the center. So pick one if you would and wait for my mark. Alia remained at the one closest to the entrance. Pre and Breeze already wandered curiously to her left, standing at the ready at the 2 closest. Eric stood by the one to the right of Alia, rather eagerly. Zephyr rolled his eyes at Eric and just walked past him to the next one. Kindle took her place directly across from Alia, with Turbius taking one on either side of her. Ready? Alia looked over to everyone for confirmation. She was beaming with anticipation, excited to see what would happen next once they pushed the swords inward. Everyone had their hand on one of the cold swords, aside from Pre, who looked like he was poised to tackle it with some momentum since he was so small. Oh, 1 second. Okay. The burps are a little weird today, like I said. All right, on go. 3, 2, 1, go! Simultaneously, everyone pushed the swords towards the center with a surprising amount of ease until they felt a click. In each corner, out of the ground emerged a small pillar with a decent-sized hole in the side of it. Alia was the first one to it with a quick skip in her step. Zephyr, curiously peeking over Alia's shoulder. Breeze and Pre were looking closely at another, while everyone else just seemed curiously eyed the ones in the corners. Alia reached inside, seeing that there was finely ground material resting just inside. She picked up a little bit and looked at the black sand with red flecks. What is this stuff? Breeze tilted her head with the intrigue, and she almost palmed a bit of the substance.
Looks like fire sand.
Zephyr answered, noticing Alia's confusion at the stuff.
It's sand mixed with ground up fire runes. With a little bit of fire mana applied, it glows. It's sort of what started mana lanterns, though nowadays people use small runes of any mana.
4 corners shine the light from above. Alia looked around the corner and spotted a thin slit that ran from the floor to the ceiling in the decorative column. She smiled at Kindle. Kindle, could you light them all at the same time?
No sweat.
Kindle moved to the center of the room and held her hands out on either side.
This says narration here for me.
Oh, did I not put it?
Is that Kindle?
I'm guessing you meant to put Kindle's name there, but it says narration instead.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Static embers.
All 4 alcoves in the pillars helped a small flame atop. All 4 alcoves in the pillars held a small flame atop the fire sand. The thin slit in each corner began to glow, slowly rising to the ceiling. Eventually, several holes in the ceiling that held the same illumination as the glow spread completely through the fire sand.
What are they? constellations?
Eric looked up, reminded of the stars as he looked at them, but didn't recognize any pattern as any constellations.
It does look like stars, but none of these are constellations that have been recorded.
Pri wandered around the room as he looked up at the patterns. They might not be stars. Alia looked at the thin lines in the ceiling, how they correlated with some of the illuminated dots. It reminded her of a music sheet. I think it's notes. She looked over it carefully, hearing the melody in her head as a solemn expression filled her face. She took a deep breath and looked over at Zephyr, who shared her expression. Before we continue, what does the inner ring say?
Probably a good idea.
Zephyr turned to the stone door and began reading the inner ring.
Break from eternal binds, rid the madness in your mind, reignite your broken heart. Here is where you can finally depart, saving your soul and mind. Stand once again right by my side. Time will always restore, even if we can't go back to before. Please, once again, wander this world, my dear friend.
Sounds like an apology letter.
I think it's the final piece, Alia voiced quietly with a solemn smile. The words matched up nicely with the melody written above them as she played through it again in her mind.
You going to sing it for us?
Zephyr walked closer to Alia with a hopeful expression, with an air of nostalgia. He had missed listening to her singing. He watched her take a deep breath and smile warmly.
I see now.
Yeah, you see now, don't you?
You got this, girl. You got this.
Hydrate. I guess I have to, if it means opening this door. She looked up one last time, and she made sure she had the melody right. After another deep breath, she closed her eyes.
Break from eternal
I can barely hear it right now.
Bring madness in your mind. Reignite your broken heart. Here is where you can finally depart.
Yeah.
Saving your soul and mind. Stand once again right by my side. Time will always restore. Even if we can't go back to before. Please, once again, wander this world, my dear friend.
Nicely done. Nicely
Snaps and
done. Nervous laughter. You did good.
I recorded that a while ago.
Aw.
And now it's here in the world. You
I
can't take it
know,
back.
I know.
Look at that.
Cute.
Anyway. There we go. I did it.
You did it.
I made it.
You survived. Good job.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it's at least you did like a recording of it.
Yeah, I was not gonna do that shit live. Fuck that.
Fuck that shit. How are we gonna
It's
do
also not
karaoke?
technically written that I didn't like reprint the lyrics in that part, so I was like, I have to fucking record this because otherwise I have to scroll back.
Yeah.
That's true.
You did it though.
Because I'm not a big fond of like just doing like the lyrics as people sing it. I usually just like describing like how the melody go, which is what I'm about to get to. So anyway, that was a thing.
You did good.
The thing is over.
What the fuck? Hang on. that the right? Did I skip? Did I miss one? I must have missed one again. That's fine.
Choose the one that best fits the situation. V3 head pets.
Here, I'll do the bass track that I used for that so you guys can hear the whole thing. This is, I wrote that down somewhere. It's like Cicada and Summer Sunset. I don't remember the name because it's in fucking Japanese. I remember translating it at one point.
But good old Dolby.
Yeah, Dolby syndrome. I was gonna like get that like properly done up, and like commission somebody to make a soundtrack for it, but I just didn't. I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, I'm over it now. Okay. She parted her lips, and a lyrical melody of the words came from the inner ring. It reverberated through the entire floor. Alia's beautiful voice captured her audience entirely. A sad yet sweet tune somehow resonated with everyone there. Even if they couldn't relate to the lyrics, it still tugged at something inside each person. Kendall thought the melody sounded familiar, but couldn't place it, being caught up in Alia's beautiful voice. After the final note, everyone was speechless. Hang on. There it goes. Anyway, the silence was broken when the stone rings of the door began to shift loudly. Everyone's attention was briefly averted to the door as they watched the rings spin.
A voice to move the heart, a face to light up your life.
Eric's smirk was somewhere between his playful attitude and a true smile as he approached her.
Alia, you are a true beauty through and through.
You better keep your thieving hands off my sister, or you'll lose them.
Zephyr stopped his approach with a light smack upside Eric's head.
I feel like I haven't known good music until now.
Kendall mumbled to herself.
Amazing, Alia!
Turbius were both clapping with bright smiles on their faces. Thank you. Alia smiled as smiled at all the warm praise. She hadn't sung in a long time. She forgot what the effect that it had on people. Alia approached the door, noticing it wasn't quite open. What's missing, though? It's still sealed. She placed her hand against the stone and closed her eyes. When she did, she could clearly identify a stacked set of glyphs from a binding magic art inside the stone. This binding art isn't actually that complex. After all, it was never multiple, just one high magic art. It was simply rearranged. The glyphs are all in the correct order now. I can break this, no problem. Have you tried blood sacrifice? Not this time!
This time.
Unless.
Eric, get in there. No, I love that bitch.
I won't let that bitch go. I love him too much. She stood back, eager to open the door once and for all, and find out what mystery lay inside. She held out her hands towards the door and focused. Shattering crash, breaking like glass, the threads unravel, and even the strong become fragile. Turn to vapor, glyph breaker! The door cracked open, and a warm air emerged from a small gap. Alia placed her hands on her hips, satisfied in her work. And just like that, it's open!
Wow. Sorry, I was looking for the pooch underneath me because I'm trying to rearrange myself.
Dog.
She's not here, though.
Doggle.
Eric clapped slowly.
I have to admit, I didn't think you would.
Now to settle this bet.
Zephyr excitedly marched towards the door. Wait! Alia grabbed onto his wrist and pulled him behind her. She pointed to the ground immediately. Ripple limit! She had caught the sound of a low growl before what was on the other side burst through the stone door in a cloud of smoke and collided with the translucent blue barrier that she made. Large black claws flexed towards the barrier, towards Kindle, but stopped mere inches from her face. Alia tried to strengthen the barrier to bounce the beast back, but was straining to do so. Back away. This thing is strong. I don't know if I can hold how long I can hold it back.
Damn it, Zephyr was right.
Eric cursed under his breath as he drew his sword.
I wish I was.
Zephyr looked completely taken aback as the smoke started to clear around the beast's face.
Look at its eyes.
A faint red glow of its eye broke through the smoke, and a cross-slitted pupil was striking identification of what they were really up against.
It's dragging its nuts. Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, damn straight. Celestial? Looks like I win, boys. Alia's laugh was strained as she tried to maintain her focus on keeping the Celestial at bay with her hurriedly cast barrier. She knew it couldn't last much longer since she couldn't use the full spell when she first cast it.
Alcor!
A booming roar filled the temple as smoke emanated from its maw, the Celestial, before them. The heat emanating from him intensified, and the barrier began to steam under his touch. He placed another massive claw against it, bearing down on it. Alia knew it wouldn't hold on much longer. Flood wall! Alia quickly extended a hand behind her, and a wave of water washed everyone else back towards the archway. The barrier evaporated completely into steam, engulfing Alia as she screamed out in pain. The whole place trembled under the impact. Steam filled the room entirely. Aside from the bright, warm glow of the Celestial, it was impossible to see anything inside the room, let alone determine Alia's condition. Break time!
Oh boy.
Chapter end.
Chapter end!
Are y'all ready? I'm ready for this character.
Oh yeah, this did get a little scuffed, didn't it? This is where we're supposed to be at.
Indeed.
This is some break time music.
That works.
How's it going?
How's
Are you
Sumi
guys dying?
doing?
I'm dying.
No, don't die.
It's over. You did it.
I did it.
It's into
You made
the
it through.
world. And everybody loves.
Hey, you glad.
Oh. Ow.
Yeah, stretch your cast, you shape body.
Big stretch.
Yeah.
Did the thing sounded great. Oh, thank you.
You guys make it really easy to actually want to do things.
Yeah.
Y'all are so supportive.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Appreciate it.
'Cause it definitely makes me feel a little bit better about like trying karaoke and stuff, even though I'm fucking terrified.
Oh, you'll do great.
My first shitty original song. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, you did good.
More OGs to come in the future. Huh?
And like you said,
I don't know.
it's
My
the
lyric
first.
writing kind of sucks.
Oh,
That's why you get with other people.
yeah.
A song doesn't have to be written by one person.
Collab, collab.
Oh, are you emotionally vulnerable? Suffer. Thank you.
I will. Me not. Don't bully me.
That's what I have on my Discord. my little blurb under my name says emotionally vulnerable worm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Since you read ahead, yeah. Yeah. In our little thing, our script that Sumi has, she actually had it in parentheses, like play this song sung by Sumi, and I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
She's going extra. She's going full original Lord of the Rings on us with the music in there and everything. Eat your heart out, Peter Jackson.
I mean, I knew I'd have to eventually because Alia is a siren, so she does sing.
yes.
So,
Must get the singing.
yeah.
And it's okay, Zen. You can keep bullying us. That's kind of our thing. We like that.
Joke's on you, I'm into it.
Hi, Morningstar.
Hey, welcome to book club.
It is a book club. We all have books.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun.
For sure.
I was thinking, there's a book out there. I went to Barnes & Noble with my friend the other day.
Mhm.
And it's okay. We can make Sumi play it again later. Play the sing song again.
I mean, I could play it now if you really want, but I gotta go get drink.
well,
I'll play it for you if I go get drink if you guys really want.
there's also the VOD because it did pop up in the VOD.
Yes.
You can watch up to that point and hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
there,
sure T will timestamp it for everybody.
yes, she is so good. at
T always
timestamping.
doing work.
Yeah.
For real. There's a book out there, and I don't remember if it was called like Dungeons and Lattes or something, but it's like a book about an orc that's trying to open up a coffee shop.
I love that. That's great.
And I like looked at that. I was like, I know a bunch of people that would read this with me. I was like, we start book club one. I'd have to find it again. I don't remember who the author was. And I don't know if that's like the actual name, but it sounded.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be back.
Yes, hydrate. Hydrate and get snackies.
Quench your thirst.
If you guys want to play the song, it's the one on the corner. That's different from all the other ones.
Okay. Won't touch too much here.
I'm gonna make you guys rewatch it.
Do it for the views.
you gotta go back and watch the VOD. We don't give that shit away for free more than once. Not in this economy. We're trying to make this a job, bro.
the only way you're gonna get it because I ain't posted it anywhere.
Wow.
Can't get the isolated version.
She's hoarding that shit.
I'm making a full proper track.
Yeah.
Oh, the potential of a remaster?
Was it under the memes? Because I think I looked at it while we were reading. Is it the Venn diagram of everything of us? Honestly.
Oh gosh.
King culture, trauma.
Drama in this economy?
Yeah, I like that meme.
It all intersects.
Unfortunately. I like how BDSM does curl into D&D though. That makes me haha.
Especially after Dungeons and Daddies.
Not a BDSM podcast,
But then it does.
occasionally a BDSM podcast.
The one time it turns into one.
Man, they should do more of that shit.
They should.
Except they can't because now they're children.
That's true, they can't. Unless they do time skips or some shit.
Yeah, but don't do it now. Now is not the time for that.
Oh god, it might not be the document. It might just be my phone slowing down.
It could be. We could,
Oh god.
It's a little loud. You could always pull it up on your tablet or whatever.
That's true.
I should be fine.
And
Now that
it
it's
might
up,
be
scrolling pretty
easier.
good.
Yeah, because it could be that also that it's getting a little big. Because
You're
I
resting,
know
doggo.
with the proper document, as T will find out later, there's a point where I had to switch to a new document. Because the main document was lagging so bad because it's so big. Hang on, how many pages is here?
Sumi been doing work.
Yeah. There's 496 pages on the main document. And the main document's sitting at 125,439 words. This is the most I've ever written in my life. And that's the main document. I've almost like 10-ish chapters into the second document.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a lot.
Sumi putting in work.
Mm-hmm. I apologize to anybody who becomes my beta reader and tries to read that shit on mobile. It doesn't work. It does not load on mobile. Yeah, that's some words. That's a lot of words. Ah! The main thing.
Apparently, it doesn't like opening it up online. It doesn't like doing chapters.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to scroll through chapters on mobile.
I mean, we only have
Yeah.
There we go. It's there now. If we need to divert to chapter
Pog.
if anything goes completely awry.
Yes. Ah, ah, ah.
The sound of dragging these nuts.
Oh!
Ah. It's true though.
Daddy, sorry.
Big scary fire dragon daddy.
Daddy, sorry.
He's here.
Wow, it's like Sumi has a thing for dragons or something.
Bitch. Listen.
It all started with Spirited Away.
I
Hit the nail on the head.
We all have something we have to love.
River fucker, river fucker.
You know it.
You know what? I feel like there are worse things. We're not gonna talk about my stuff.
I could say some words about my most recent dragon obsession, but
Mm.
I'm not gonna. Yes.
And evil lizards. Sumi likes bad dragons.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think I have an evil dragon crush right now. It's totally not Starworld. Yeah, no. Totally not hot dragon boy that parted the ocean.
And with it, Sumi's legs.
Oh my.
She said it herself.
Ooh.
I said it after the fact.
She's down bad.
I am.
She's down like Subnautic for that guy. Like I was down for Sid.
Yeah.
We have a problem.
Well, I mean, like, I was so down bad for Zhongli, too, for the longest time. And, like, I still am. He's
I want
hot as
them
fuck.
vintage nuts.
That's exactly what I was thinking was
It's okay.
when you mentioned that clip.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. I'm down for some vintage nuts too.
Down abyssal,
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
True, true. We all
That's
have
okay.
our
He comes
one.
out next update, so I get that form when he comes out.
Ooh boy.
I need to get my evil boy first.
But now my question is, who has Pius down abyssal for?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten one yet on the channel, I don't think. One that I'm like drooling for.
But just like any character in general. It doesn't have to be like Star Rail or anything. It's just,
I don't
what character are
know.
you so down abyssal for?
I don't know. Let's actually.
Miracle?
Mirko's up there. Let's actually go to my folder in my phone and
Find
check.
the amount of horny.
Yeah, check occurrences of characters. I mean, Samus-Aran is a big one.
Fair.
Kura from Legend of Zelda, the most recent one, is a big one. Just because I love her
She's
redesign.
hot.
Yeah. Urbosa.
Urbosa is up there. Probably Link, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. We all like a
Link
little
is
boy.
always a consistent, but gosh, let's see here. Big questions, big questions.
Decision.
Hmm.
I mean, Sumi and I make it very obvious.
Oh, Shantae.
Oh, yeah! I should have known that.
Yes. I still need to finish 7 Sirens.
Twilight Midnight. I mean,
Yeah.
Twilight Midnight is pretty hot. No Sidon. I mean, I like Fish Husband, but I would rather have Sid or Zach or my list of other characters I'm down a Bizzle for. Sid's just the most recent, and probably will be for a while, but it's fine.
Recenter this.
Recalibration.
Yep.
Fix it.
So,
Although I will
squiggle bit.
say, in regards to Sidon, if we're going on Shark Anatomy, he got 2.
That's why I like dragons, dude.
Double
They
the
usually
fun.
also love to.
Yes, Zen's right. Fish Husband is a Mary, not quite as smash. He's such a wholesome boy.
He is a
But he's taken.
OT3?
You listen to that.
Ménage de trois.
They'd be into that.
Again, he has 2. We can make it work.
It's true.
Oh boy. It's okay. One of these days we will sit down and have a nice long chat about
Yeah, we're down a bizzle.
and
We'll all need to compile a list and then we all judge each other.
No, there's yeah, kind of like that. I remember seeing on TikTok that there was some people who would like have these like little slideshows.
oh yeah, you make a slideshow
Yeah.
of like the
Your-
characters that you sim for, and then
Yeah.
everybody judges you for it.
Yeah. Especially if you do your questionable sims.
Oh yeah, the questionable ones are the
Oh
best
no.
ones.
Oh no.
Members only stream. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be funny.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
I've always wanted to do it. It sounds so fucking hilarious.
Fucking daddy door.
Daddy dwarf. That's up there on my questionable sims. I'd let rehydrated Ganon absolutely destroy me.
I have quite a few questionable sims.
Oh, we know you do. I think it's gonna be more of a dig for me.
Tears of the
I think
Kingdom.
it's like you have your questionable simps and then you try to defend them or some shit.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You like get your questionable
Yeah.
sims, and you have to.
And it's a PowerPoint.
Yeah, it's a PowerPoint presentation about why you simp for them and why you're defending why you simp for them,
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
which would be really funny to do.
All right, well, we
Most
all have
of
to
it-
get to work on a PowerPoint now.
Yeah, most of it's gonna be if evil, why hot?
You have to come up with special defenses.
I will.
Not everything can be if evil, why hot.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Rehydrated Ganon turns Aria into dehydrated Aria.
That's how
Please.
he got hydrated. What do you mean?
Wait, so it's my fault? Oh shit.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you started it.
Sorry guys. I was really turned on by the horns, okay? Y'all saw Vox's new model, right? Just saying.
We do love
Oh,
our
no.
horny men.
Oh no, I do. Oh
That's why I like my dragon men, because they got the horn.
no.
That's why I like
Look at that
demon
motherfucker.
girls.
Look, he's hot.
Yeah.
Demon men too.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Get into chapter 16.
We can go
I've-
into chapters.
I've suddenly learned things about myself. You like horns so much that you have. Oh no, you're right. Oh wait, no, hold on. Wait. I will never not be horny unless I get rid of this crown, which is not possible. Not
It's
on this model.
attached.
It's attached. And I think in every
Grows
other
in your brain.
I think in every design I've made for other models, I have some type of feature that is sort of horny.
It's true.
I am forever horny.
I think the only one that's not currently is the pirate one. That
Mmm.
looks most normal.
We
But
could change that. There's horns underneath that.
I do think I need to spruce it up anyways to fit your aesthetic a little bit more.
Yeah, but like the
It's a good
baseline
base,
is there.
yeah.
I
just
do
need
like
to
the
spruce
base.
it up some more. Add some embellishment.
Someday. No gender will be turned away. This is true.
This is the way.
Demons in general. This is the way I have spoken.
I have spoken.
Oh man. Okay, so moving on.
All right.
Anyway.
Oh, so we're starting without narration this time. All right. We ready to go?
Let me switch to the music.
Me hydrate?
Well, I said music switch.
Sit up here.
Brace yourselves, everybody. Shit's about to go down.
Oh, I just had to click back into the tab. Tension. Whoa, that's weird. Wrong document. It was doing something funny on that tab.
We won't worry about that tab.
That's not a current us issue.
That's a future us issue. That's a future Sumi issue.
Alright, music is set. Turn that off to save power. Okay.
All right, here we go. Alia!
Zephyr yelled, panicked at the unknown fate of his sister. He quickly got to his feet and started running back into the smoke and steam, dodging the fast-emerging Celestial that charged straight for Kindle. Everyone was able to recover and move out of the way before one of the two dark claws swiped down at them. Eric quickly followed after Zephyr, his eyes fixed on the Celestial with a sword at the ready. Zephyr dropped to his knees when he found Alia on the ground, unconscious. Her clothing was shredded and her skin was burned. His claws had just grazed the right side of her body, deepest on her arm. Zephyr was cursing at his inability to learn healing magic arts as he carefully pulled her into his arms. Even though the Celestial was aiming for Kindle, everyone was so close that the sheer size of the Celestial filled half the room. His stature wasn't the only thing intimidating about him. His massive, long, serpentine body and skin like cracked obsidian. In between the cracks, a glow from magma shifting underneath. 4 dark horns curved back and up from his long, narrow skull.
Why the hell are you after me?
Kindle raised her voice as the Celestial swiped at her again. The Celestial paused and tilted his head, realizing that she was not his target.
I can smell Alcor. Where is he?
The Celestial raised his head, glancing at Turbius, Breeze, and Pre that were near.
Who the hell is Alcor?
Kindle narrowed her eyes, confused at his demeanor. She had never heard of Alcor before, and she didn't understand why she was the first he'd go after.
He must be here. Don't lie. He's the only one who can open this door.
He lowered his head near her, and the glow of the magma under his skin brightened.
You had the most fire mana, so I assumed it was you.
His head whips around towards Eric, drawn to the massive mana emanating from the fire rune in his sword.
There is more. Suppress all you like. You can't hide it from me.
He charged towards Eric, who was standing between the Celestial and Zephyr and Alia.
Zephyr, move!
Eric yelled as he held up the broadside of his blade and braced for the impact of the Celestial's claw. Zephyr quickly carried Alia out of the charge in line. The Celestial's claw clashed with Eric's sword. His body screamed as the impact reverberated through his body. Eric dropped to one knee under the strength bearing down on him.
No, you are human.
The Celestial eased up slightly and leaned down to better observe Eric.
You have a strong fire, but it's not your own.
He released Eric from his pin and started glancing around again.
Alcor, stop hiding and face me! I know you aren't fool enough to let me out, then leave.
Hate to break it to you, buddy.
Eric's arms fell to his side, barely able to keep a hold on his sword due to the pain coursing through his body. The bones in his arms weren't broken, they were definitely fractured. His voice strained as he tried to hide the pain.
The one who opened the door is neither a fire spirit or a guy. The fair water spirit you burned on your way out. She is the one who set you free.
How can that be?
His head tilted in the direction of Ollie and Zephyr.
Don't you dare touch her again!
Zephyr glared viciously at the Celestial as he turned to block Alia protectively.
Or I will kill you if it's the last thing I do! There's no one named Alcor here!
Kindle reaffirmed.
We don't know anyone by that name!
Seems this one is a fool.
Sorry, changing.
good.
Music.
Track change. The Celestial closed his eyes, disappointed in himself for letting his rage get the better of him. The air in the room began to cool as the smoke emitted from the Celestial's body. His form began to change. He shrunk into a smaller, more humanoid form. Pained look on his face as he dropped to his knees.
I let my ire for my betrayer blind me. I dared to attack those who set me free.
He shook his head, tossing his long dark hair enough to see the red streaks underneath.
I wasn't aware this was being alive. That could be outmatch Alcor's binding magic arts.
Everyone dazed and confused at how quickly his rage turned to remorse and regret. All the fight he had before was clearly gone, and he looked towards Zephyr and Alia with sorrow. No one knew what to do next.
While this cannot make up for my transgression, please accept this as an apology.
He lowered his head and closed his eyes. A large cliff filled the room. The pleasant warmth permeated their bodies. Eric realized that his pain was gone, and Zephyr watched as all the cuts and burns on Alia's skin began to quickly disappear.
Alia, are you alright?
Zephyr sighed in relief as her eyes began to flutter open. Yeah, I feel fine. Alia looked down, a bit disappointed that the fact her clothes were shredded. My clothes, not so much. She glared at Zephyr, realizing that he was still carrying her. You can put me down now,
Oh, but what if I don't want to?
Zephyr mumbled in a playful pout.
I almost lost my baby sister.
As he tightened his grip on her, she annoyedly raised her hand up and chopped him in the middle of the forehead.
Okay.
He set her down with a faint smile of relief as he glad that she was the same as ever. Huh? That one.
Sorry,
Sorry, music.
Sorry, I almost killed you. Please accept my apology by gazing upon my sexy body.
Apology
Oh,
accepted.
just you wait. I'll show you
Yeah,
guys.
the first thing he does is turn into human and fill people with his warmth.
Yeah.
Johnny, let me accept your warmth.
He set her down with a faint smile of relief, glad that she was still the same as ever. Alia eyed the Celestial rather impassively. Yeah, funny. There it is. His freckled skin was darker tan than Zephyr's. His horns, albeit a bit smaller than his true form, still manifested amidst his dark hair. He wore incredibly long, layered kimono robes, incredibly loose on his form. His inner one was red, while the outer one was black with a flame pattern embroidered into it on gold. You bet. I don't make characters with titty windows. You know there's something wrong.
Oh, that's my ultimate sim, Bruno.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Bruno Bucciarati, the OG titty window. What am I thinking?
I've bought you quite a few things. Of
Yes, you
Bruno.
have. I have a poster of Bruno in my room.
Yeah, God, happy.
Granted, I do have a plushie of Shantae as well, so tied for ultimate
both.
sim.
Both are acceptable.
Yes, sorry. I just had a realization.
The titty
Fine.
window is what made it.
Always the titty windows. Essential to all good fashion.
Yeah.
Around his shoulders was a hooded cloak, a warm black trimmed with gold markings similar to the robes on the outside, while the inside looked very similar to magma.
I do hope you'll forgive me. If you don't, I understand.
The Celestial was looking in Alia's direction with sadness in his amber eyes as he bowed. Alia looked among those around her. They all looked at her with a... Words are hard, okay? Been talking a lot today. We're almost done. They all looked at her with uncertainty at the situation. I won't blame you for your confusion. She returned the gaze to the Celestial, seeking for forgiveness. though she didn't really hold any ill will towards him. You've been trapped under a powerful binding art for thousands of years, judging by the age of these ruins. If you had emerged with a clear mind, I would have been far more surprised. Alia saw a wave of relief wash over him. My name is Alia. Might I ask yours?
I am Sigmus.
He stood tall, placed a hand on his chest.
I was once the Fire Celestial, though I assume that has long since changed. I can sense many powerful Celestials in this age.
He looked directly at Alia.
One is bound to you, is it not, kinbound?
I am bound to the Water Celestial, Lady Azarius. Alia nodded, a bit surprised, he could tell just from looking at her.
I know not of her.
A wistful expression fell across his face.
If as much time has passed as you say, it is no surprise new Celestials have arisen. There is one with the Fire Celestial title, correct?
Yes, we are in an age where all 4 elemental celestial titles are claimed and awake, Alia explained.
It seems I'll have to rethink my title as Celestial, and my place in this current age.
Sigmus tilted his head, trying to wrap his head around the situation.
Why were you sealed away?
Zephyr asked, a bit leery of Sigmus still.
I suspect Alcor thought to take my place. He always sought power.
A bitter expression filled his features as he spoke.
He was so young at the time, I don't think he knew that simply defeating a Celestial does not make you one.
You mentioned he betrayed you.
Kindle noted with an air of concern.
He was once a kinbound of mine.
Sigmus explained with a heavy tone.
He was important to a human I cared deeply for, and her dying wish was I look after him. He and I grew close. He was always wild and impulsive, but he meant well. His betrayal hurt more than anything I never saw it coming.
Sigmus closed his eyes and clenched his fists.
If he is still alive, then I shall kill him myself.
Chances are rather slim.
Zephyr sighed, thinking about how bad recent ages have been for spirits.
Many spirits perished in the Age of Stars and during the Age of Bloom.
The Age of Darkness was a hard time for our kind as well.
Sigmus lowered his head and his rage subsided once again.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're jumping
Sorry.
around everywhere.
I tried my best so that we wouldn't have a lot of talking to oneself, but this part.
No, just going from Cygnus right to Kindle is way
It's
too
a
hard to
lot
do
of
at once.
range. It's hard, I know.
Perhaps Lord Ignis or the other Celestials would know this Alcor.
Kindle looked towards Alia. It wouldn't hurt.
Oh, sorry.
You're
My
good, you're
bad.
good. It wouldn't hurt to get some information from the Fire Legion anyways.
You're not wrong. Alia placed her hand on her chin, considering it. Since Nessero's shrine is the closest to Mambe's shrine, Lord Igneous and the Fire Legion would know best what to expect from Teferius. Given the Imperial Knights are on our case, I wouldn't be surprised if the port is on high alert for us. I could ask the Fire Legion to help us secure a route to Zipnask Kingdom. If there aren't druids there assisting them, then we could pass our message along to.
Wait, hold on.
Zephyr finally clicked what Alia was up to.
Are you trying to intervene in the war? Why didn't you tell me?
I haven't had a chance yet. Got busy trying to clean up your mistake. Alia crossed her arms and glared at him. I'm gonna try and talk some sense into that grumpy old Earth Celestial, and if he doesn't listen to reason, that's why I have a backup plan of gathering enough people to help me beat some sense into him. You in or what?
You know I'll always help you out.
Zephyr crossed his arms and sighed. She sounded pretty set on things, setting things right herself. He knew once she was in that mindset, he wouldn't be able to convince her otherwise. So he figured he'd at least be there to protect her.
Wait, you guys aren't really going to fight someone like him, are you?
Eric pointed to Sigmus. He watched Alia get dropped in a matter of seconds. He knew he didn't stand a chance against a second attack. The rest of the time, everyone else was on the defensive. He saw little to no chance of them surviving.
Are you insane?
I never told you the full details because I didn't imagine you'd stick around anyway. Alia coldly glared over at him. Honestly, I don't know why you're still here. I would have expected you to try to escape by now if you liked that gun so much.
I always honor my wagers.
Eric drew the gun, flipped it around so that he was holding the barrel. And held it towards Alia.
Here, you decide what to do with it.
I'll hold on to it for now. Alia sighed as she took it from him and held on to it rather than giving it to Zephyr like everyone else thought she would. I'll decide what to do with it later.
This Igneous is the fire celestial of this age, correct?
Sigmus inquired.
I would much like to meet the celestial that now holds my former title.
Yes, he is, and I'm sure we can arrange that. Alia turned back to him with an apologetic smile. I apologize, he must be at a bit of a loss at what's currently happening.
It is to be expected, but you need not worry.
Sigmus shook his head and closed his eyes.
Perhaps one of you be willing to elaborate just a touch on what has happened throughout history while I was imprisoned.
Yes, we can rest up a bit. Alia clapped her hands together with a warm smile. We can potentially head out tomorrow morning, if the rest of you don't mind. Porting the devitalization weapons to the Order is top priority. It'll be dangerous should things take a turn for the worse in the war.
I agree.
Kindle stated with Turbius nodding behind her.
Devitalization?
Oh wait, that's right. Thought I was off a bit. Music. There we go. Zephyr looked as though he'd seen a ghost. Yes, Lost Continent technology is currently being weaponized by the Empire. Alia explained briefly. She was worried upon seeing Zephyr's reaction.
Alia, are you missing time?
Zephyr's expression was dead serious. Relax, I used up too much mana in the fight, Alia stated. So when we escaped, things got a little fuzzy. I can't say I'm really missing time again. Zephyr grew silent, placing a hand over his mouth, trying to calm his racing mind enough to think clearly. Regardless if it was the curse that was placed on her or not, that dangerous technology couldn't be ignored.
You're right. We need to report this to the Order immediately.
We are going to have to pass through a few towns on the way there, you know.
Eric crossed his arms.
I don't think we'll go unnoticed by the knights with a celestial in our party.
What do you mean, we? Alia glared at Eric with disdain. Do you really plan on sticking around much longer?
I don't know.
Eric shrugged and smirked.
You guys seem to be a rather interesting bunch. Would it really hurt to have a human around that knows how to lay low in all three countries?
Pretty sure we would if it's you. Alia scowled at him.
He does have a point, though.
Zephyr shrugged.
He's pretty good at running and hiding. He's been dodging me for about a year now. To be honest, if you plan on fighting Celestial, he could be beneficial to you.
Sigmus had realized that Eric was no ordinary human. Eric took his attack surprisingly well when he thought back to it. He could also tell from the mana in him that he was much stronger than most.
Kinbound do function at their best when...
Alia cut him off. I will never tether with a human again. Alia's voice was filled with so much hatred. Her expression was filled with so much pain. Everyone but Zephyr was a bit taken aback by her tone. Eric especially so. He wanted to say something, but couldn't find the words. He looked at Zephyr, who simply shook his head. Alia took a deep breath, not meaning to react as harshly as she did. I'm well aware of the disadvantages, and I'm prepared to make do.
Forgive me, I didn't mean to upset you.
Sigmus bowed his head slightly. It's not your fault. Alia shook her head.
Look, let's just take it easy now, alright?
Zephyr tried to lighten the mood.
We can worry about the little details tomorrow.
Yeah, Alia nodded and put on a smile. Let's head upstairs. End of chapter.
Awesome.
Ah, one more chapter.
One more chapter.
I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick.
I also got peas, but you go first.
Perfect.
Dragon Daddy has joined the party.
Woo! Dragon Daddy acquired.
Ah, the Dragon Daddy, dude.
Have fun playing Dragon D's nuts. Zen. We'll see you
Enjoy.
later.
Yeah.
May the dice gods be with you.
Yes.
Probably a good timing given how the next chapter ends.
Uh-oh. Foreshadowing. Oh
I'm
no.
not leaving Chad on a cliffhanger or nothing.
Oh, tricky, tricky witch.
A little more than a supporting character, honestly. I mean, he takes on supporting for now, but yeah, he joined the party. It's actually really funny. The thing about Sigmus is I didn't initially plan. He's a spontaneous character. He came out of
Oh,
nowhere.
Okay.
Because I was writing this whole scene, like how I was like, what the fuck's gonna be inside this fucking door?
Oh, so
I had no idea while I was making it.
so
initially.
did he spawn from necessity or from horny?
Yes.
Oh. Both.
No.
Porque no los dos.
I was like, I can't have either Zephyr or Eric win. So I was like, what the fuck do I
Gotcha,
put in
gotcha.
there? And I was like, okay, it's a Celestial.
The wild card. Good choice.
And then he came to be, and he's hot as fuck.
And all the cards fell in place.
Yep.
And Dragon Daddy entered the
Dragon
fold.
Daddy. Yes.
There's my phone.
Yeah. Mystery door be like that. But like I had to rearrange a lot of my plot in order to deal with incorporating him.
Yeah, but worth it though. Worth it though.
Oh yeah, so worth it.
Aria is returning, so I will head out now.
Yeah.
Be right back, chat.
Hello.
But yeah, you missed it. The Sigmus was a spontaneous creation. Fun fact. Because I was like, when I was writing the whole thing, Sigmus didn't exist yet. Not in my brain. I was just like, I can't have the boys win. Alia has to win. What the fuck do I put in here? And I guess it's a Celestial now.
Surprise!
It's true. And Sigmus is the fucking best. He solves so many problems.
We love him.
It's great.
A more neutral individual in the party.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's
kind
hot.
of just there to hang out.
He just wants to watch the world burn. While
No,
trying.
He helps them. He helps them.
He's watching the world burn while trying to help, I guess.
Yeah. He's like the dad who lets the kids figure out shit on their own. He's like, here you go, fuck around, find out. It's great.
Figure it out, kids.
You'll see in the next stream. He very much does that. It's pretty great. Why the fuck is Nightbot showing up? I said Nightbot's muted. What the hell? Oh well, whatever.
Nightbot wants to be seen. Also, Nightbot's telling people to get memberships because we don't say that during the stream very
Well,
often.
I have it muted on the OBS chat, so it doesn't pop up. So usually when we're yelling at Nightbot, nobody knows what we're talking about, unless they're regular.
Yeah.
It's.
Anyway,
I'm also gonna go pee, so entertain chat.
We're going to 17, so this is the
Yep.
last chapter.
last chapter,
Yeah.
and you guys are gonna suffer unless you read ahead. Like T's fine. T's got the script.
Legitimately. Well,
Not
yeah.
the script.
No.
but-
We have the script, but T does have the story, so.
the same thing anyway.
T has the T. Ha! Never heard that before. Oh my god.
That ass knock shit over.
Remember to hydrate or dehydrate, chat. Oh, yeah, like what Nightbot says. I was just hydrating because character voices and all that. No, I don't think we got a whole lot going on. Everybody enjoying their Sunday? Are y'all bummed to go back to work tomorrow? I don't hate it as much as I used to. I just want to sit and stream with you guys. I want to do like Zatsus and just like hang out and like play games and just like chill with you guys. I don't want to work my day job anymore. Although we've been saying that for a couple years now, so you know, not much has changed. Hello, baby. Little noodle worm. Do you want to say hello to chat? Say something to chat? Huh? Maybe not. You have Monday off, Poggers. Also, your fools makes me think of Excalibur. Fools. But Poggers for having Monday off. That's nice.
Existing.
Getting comfy. Getting ready for reading.
Okay.
What?
Scary part's past. I'm fine.
So all the nervousness should be fine now, right?
Yeah, it's gone.
Uh-huh.
The result of it, not so much. Nerves and stress tend to affect me pain, so it's kicking in a little bit. But I could take some fishy headache stuff because I haven't taken that.
Well, T, we do typically do we usually do the Monday night stream, so you just have to figure out what to do until Monday night stream.
That's true.
Alrighty. Get this open back up.
Are we gonna finish Tits of the Game?
We might? I don't know. I don't know how much story is left.
Because we didn't do any story last time.
No, we just fucked around. We were farming for
Stuff and things.
stuff and hardly got anything. At least I did. Hardly got anything.
I don't think I got that either. And then we have to decide what we're doing after that.
We got plenty of games we left off on.
Oh no, we did one stream of Zilla and then we're like, alright,
Yeah.
bye.
Well, it's not. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 came out, so like.
Well, that one was Tits of the King.
Oh yeah, Tits and Final
And then
Fantasy
Final
came out
Fantasy.
like pretty respectively, and we were obsessed. So happens.
Wow, blow through that Breath of the Wild.
Old.
Vocal warm-ups. Let's fucking go.
No, ow, ow, ow. Oh.
You got rough cats, man.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Take her back to the beach.
I know. We need to go back to the coast.
Make your pets soft again.
Yeah.
They were baby smooth.
Yeah, they were.
Did you get exfoliated by the sand?
She did.
Yeah. No.
You guys sit down, baby.
Good girl. I promise we'll do the fun stuff afterwards, baby.
Wonder if we get her some paw balm. It'd be good for her toesies.
Yeah, I've considered it. I just don't want her like licking it off.
Yeah.
Because we all know how much she loves to mlem.
Yeah, she's a little mummer.
Lemon puppy. Stretchy! My goodness!
It's okay, Noodles. It's just one more chapter.
One more chapter. And then we
Yeah.
will do fun stuff. One more chapter. You just have to wait. Careful, don't bonk your head. 120 shrines acquired.
Fuck, dude. That's a lot.
Yeah, for real. I could never.
Doing work, getting them
Damn.
hearts.
Doki doki.
Hearts and stamina.
Stamina. Run forever. If shit didn't hit so hard, I'd probably put most of it into stamina.
Yeah. But also getting your ass handed to you.
Yeah, I'm not that good of a gamer. To not get hit.
Little bit more. We still got a
What
little
is-
bit more. No, a little bit more. Teeth! Is that stinky? I know, it smells like balsa wood.
Balsa? I think that's the one. I made something in like science class out of this kind of wood, and it's a fish. I think they were supposed to be like little planes. And the smell is just like ingrained in my brain for some reason.
It smells?
Yeah, it has like a scent, a wood scent.
Wood.
Oh, yeah. Definitely smells like it was wood burned at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it does have like etchings. And
Yeah, it
stuff
looks like
in
it was laser cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Full hearts and full stamina.
Hog? I'll just full and pale. I don't actually know.
Alright. Gonna
Alright.
do the last chapter?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I think I'm on the right track. Hang on. Let me make sure everything's in order. Yeah.
So we didn't do it last time, but Sumi needs to show me y'all's audition.
Yeah. We can do it after stream for sure this time.
Yeah, because we said, I mean, I have to do it with some parents, but we
Yeah.
3 stamina wheels and 30 hearts? God
Sheesh,
damn!
That's a lot of hearts, dude.
God
Damn.
damn! Dude, Link.
I mean, I guess I did make that food one time that was like 27 hearts or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
I don't even
possible.
remember how I made that.
Yeah.
Link
shit.
the Unstoppable.
I was gonna say,
think
Link
I-
is looking less like a twink all of a sudden.
Twunk.
Yeah. Look at y'all gaming. Meanwhile, I can't get shit done in this fucking game.
The struggle of being a streamer.
Yeah.
And it's not just us. Watching Ren last night, and he had said the same thing. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna finish this game because I do the streamer thing of like I start things and then never finish them. It's like, but what if you did?
Yeah. We finished stuff. It just takes a while.
It does. Because we don't just play one game all
We
week.
play all the games.
We play multiple games a week for months at a time.
There's so many games, and we play long games.
We play a
We
lot.
do play long games.
Recording and editing later tonight. I mean, I wanna listen to everything that's already been put in, and then I wanna listen again when
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys put more in. So like,
Yeah.
just keep submitting, and then we'll
Whenever I
just
get
keep
more
listening.
shit, I'll be like, hey, more things to listen to.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
Baby, hi. It's the last
We're not
one.
done yet, okay? A little bit more. Promise. We're almost done. Shall I get into it?
Let's fucking go.
Let's get it.
Okie dokie. I can't wait to get into town and get some new clothes. Holly adjusted the makeshift wrap top she made out of what remained of her jacket as they traveled down the mountain path. She looked to Kindle with a slight pout. Remind me to stop wearing my favorite outfits when I fight Celestials. They always seem to get ruined.
What are you gonna wear then? Rags like you are now?
Kindle smirked, pointing at her tattered outfit. I might as well. Would fit my skill. Alia wrapped her arms around herself in a pout. She felt the warm cloth wrapped around her shoulders. She looked up to her right to see Sigmus had draped his cloak around her with a warm smile. She didn't even realize that she was feeling cold until just then. Thank you, but you didn't have to. Alia smiled, still accepting it, pulling the cloak around her more securely.
Nonsense. It's the least I could do.
He cheerfully waved away her comment.
After all, it is my fault you're in such a state. I would offer to purchase your new clothes, but I not have any currency in my possession.
Hold on. Hold the
Broke
fuck
Dragon
on!
Day!
If this man starts talking about osmanthus wine, I'm gonna table flip, bro.
I mean, a lot of his personality was influenced by Zhongli, but he doesn't talk as much as Zhongli does.
I was gonna say, I feel it, but like, goddamn, this man starts talking about wine. Shut up, people!
Nah, he's more into tea.
That's right, you do have that. Is that picture still up here, or is it put away?
Somewhere.
Anyway.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We still have plenty of coin among us. Alia smiled after discussing the history that he had missed that she knew of, and him giving her more insight on the temple and the age that it was once his home. She started to enjoy his company more. He seemed to be doing quite well for being misplaced by time.
So it's okay if he acts chummy towards your sister, but I can't?
Eric whispered bitterly to Zephyr.
He's a celestial. What can I do?
Zephyr growled under his breath.
I don't think it's the same anyways.
He leered at Eric suspiciously before melting into a smirk.
What? You jealous?
What? Why would I be jealous?
Eric scoffed and crossed his arms, looking away from Zephyr.
I just don't think you're treating me fairly.
Since when do you treat anything fairly?
Zephyr nudged Eric's shoulder with his elbow.
Fair point.
Eric pointed at him. He paused and looked at Cygnus's back as they walked. A bit of concern etched on his face as he raised his voice for everyone to hear.
I still think having a celestial with us in Lambertine is going to attract too much attention from the Imperial Knights. We can't exactly be discreet, especially since there are already more knights than usual because of the war.
I don't think we need to worry about that. Alia shot an annoyed glance over her shoulder at Eric. I can cast an illusion that everyone would think he's just a regular spirit. She turned and smiled at Cygnus. You might not be able to wander far from me in town, though.
You needn't waste your mana on me, Ollie.
He closed his eyes and placed a hand on his chest.
As long as I maintain a minimal output of mana, I can simply appear as a strong fire spirit, unable to entirely contain my true form.
He gestured to his horns.
The only distinguishing physical feature of a celestial is their eyes. Considering I don't use my eyes to see, I can simply walk around with them closed.
Are you saying you're blind?
Tur raised his voice in a bit of surprise, since the way he moved suggested otherwise. The way you attacked us didn't seem like it. Bias backed his brother's train of thought up.
My ability to sense mana is very in tune due to my inability to use my eyes to see. It is so precise it allows me to locate humans and spirits near me and see their shape. Furthermore, if I let out a small pulse of my own mana, I can sense that which is without mana that is nearby, to a similar extent. I shall keep a more limited range with the concern of limiting power, I admit.
Will it really work?
Kindle looked a tad suspicious at the concept. It should. Alia placed a finger on her chin as she thought about it. When Zephyr and I traveled with the Larias, he wanted to lie low. All he did was change his eyes with an illusion. I suppose it isn't entirely uncommon to see spirits contain their true form completely.
I doubt any human would really tell the difference between a celestial and a powerful spirit, unless they were from the Order anyways.
Zephyr shrugged.
I can.
Eric mumbled to himself in a bitter pout.
You already know, though. You can't unsee it.
Pre whispered to him with a slight snicker from atop Breeze's head, just behind him.
Whatever.
Eric shot Pre a glare. He rested his hands behind his head and closed his eyes.
You all should still be careful. The place was hit with a harsh earthquake caused by the Earth Legion a few weeks back. Darkness that lingers has been pretty thick in that town.
Might be good for Turbius to stick with me then. Alia looked over at the twins with a sweet smile. I know it might be hard in an artisan city to not get distracted with something.
Yeah, you boys better not go wandering off on your own this time.
Kindle turned around and pointed up at them.
Yes, sis!
The Turbius voiced in cheerful unison. It wasn't much longer before Lambertine came into view, once the forest gave way to the expansive grasslands of the valley. The city had charm to it, with the tall stonework buildings and bustling narrow streets lined with stalls smells of weapons and wares of all fine local craftsmen. The smoke from all the blacksmith forges around the city billowed and up into the sky to the clouds. Sorry. My nose tickled and I had to burp.
Oh no.
Okay. Upon entering town, the party split up. Eric peeled off rather quickly, figuring his face would be recognized by any knight already. He decided to make himself scarce. Everyone agreed that it would be best to stay the night in the city, so Zephyr went to secure them a stay at one of the inns. Breeze took to the rooftops with Pri to take notes on the town and its people, not wanting to be stuck in the crowd. Alia wandered the shops with Kindle, Turbius, and Sigmus tagging along with her. As they wandered, they noticed many buildings had some form of scaffolding or boarded up windows as they were getting repaired, but some places had already been fully repaired. A large portion of the center of the town was blocked off from the collapse of the well-known Belfry Tower that took multiple buildings along with its collapse. The reconstruction of the belfry had already started, but wasn't very far along. What a shame. I didn't get to see the belfry all finished. Alia crossed her arms in a pout. I was kind of looking forward to it.
They just finished it last year, didn't they?
Kindle looked over at the construction site, noticing a few spiteful glares being tossed at her brothers from some of the workers. We didn't get to see it up close, Bias recalled a while back when they had passed the outer edge of the town. It looked quite cool, though.
The sound of the bells was pretty, even from a distance.
Her chimed in happily. Neither the twins noticed nor cared that there were such bitter glares thrown their way from the townsfolk.
That's right. It was like a song, the way it all chimed.
Kindle placed her hand on her chin as she recalled the time that they were mentioning.
That sounds marvelous.
Sigmus sighed contentedly as he imagined it, crossing his arms.
It is indeed a shame. I would greatly enjoy hearing music once again.
Alia has quite the singing voice.
Turret bounced with excitement. Perhaps she could sing for us all again, Bias shared in his brother's excitement and anticipation.
Do you really?
Sigmus tilted his head in her direction with a warm smile. You like music, Sigmus? Alia stammered as she spoke. She suddenly felt nervous. If she was capable of blushing, she felt like she would.
Undoubtedly. It is one of my few forms of entertainment I truly enjoy, after all.
Sigmus rested his hand on his chest as he lit up with passion.
Music in any age is timeless. It can tell a story or simply just touch your heart with a melody. I would love to hear you sing sometime, Alia.
Perhaps some other time? Alia gave a weak smile, even though only Kindle and Turbius could see it. I just don't have the passion for it anymore.
It can wait.
Sigmus bowed his head slightly.
I would much rather be of your own accord.
That's sweet of you, Alia smiled thankfully. She looked up at the sky a moment with a tense expression on her face. Alia could feel the darkness in the air unmistakably. The thief mentioned the darkness was bad, but I didn't expect it to be this thick here.
It is quite concentrated here, but I've experienced far worse.
Sigmus took a deep breath. The air was a bit stifling, but the closer to the center of town they got, it does appear...
Oh,
that's you. My bad.
It does appear densest around this part of the city.
I was distracted by dog.
As far as I can tell, it's just lingering in the air.
Kindle noted as she looked up towards the sky.
It doesn't feel like it has a definitive source.
Probably from all the negativity from the humans in regards to the war. Can't say I blame them, though. Alia was a little concerned about it but there wasn't much they could do to try and get rid of it, there wasn't much they could do to try and get rid of it if there wasn't a demon at the center of it. She looked at it. She took a deep breath and shook her head to stay away from the thoughts. Let's Let's get back to the shops, Alia said, overly cheerful, and she started off back the way they came. Still need to find some new clothes, and who knows what else. This is the city of artisans.
I do like all the weapon craftsmanship around. I wouldn't mind looking over some.
Kindle smiled a little. She didn't particularly want a new weapon, but she still enjoyed looking at all sorts of weapons as a reminder of her human lifetime, the time she spent with Igneous.
Yeah, there's so much
cool stuff around. Turbius excitedly looked over the shops as they passed. Is there anything you would like to get while we're in town, Sigmus? Alia curiously looked over her shoulder at him.
If we happen to come across a blade, akin to one from the age I hail from, I'd much appreciate an armament for while I'm in this form.
Sigmus crossed his arms in his sleeves.
It needn't be anything too extravagant, so long as it is well balanced.
Well, keep an eye out for it then. Alia beamed. She was hoping to come across a piece with a sizable water rune for herself and get ideas for new ice weapons never hurt. As the late afternoon began to set in, Breeze realized that she had been in the same spot on the rooftop in Lambertine for too long and stretched away the ache that she sat in. Fix your cashew-shaped bodies, bitches!
What a segue.
Anyway. She took a pause from all her note-taking and sketching to look out at the orange glow of the sunset cast over the city. The sunset looks so different here than in Galette, Breeze quietly voiced to Pri, who was curled up on the top of her oversized messenger bag.
Are you missing home?
Pri raised his head and looked at her. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Breeze smiled wistfully as she tucked her quill behind her ear. I don't regret it, though. It's a ton of fun following Alia around. I feel like I've learned so much already. She stood up and spread her arms with a wide smile. Seeing at all these different places and new sunsets, I can't help but look forward to more.
I told you adventuring would be fun.
Pri bounced to his feet. I should have listened. She beamed down at Pri. I don't know why I was so nervous about leaving Galette. I've been missing out on so much all this time.
Fate is tricky sometimes. Perhaps you weren't meant to leave until now.
Pri jumped off her bag and sat on the rooftop instead. His tail calmly flicked back and forth. I don't really get what you mean by that. Breeze tilted her head in confusion. You talk about fate and stuff all the time, Master, and even though you've explained the concept to me, I can't wrap my head around it.
Maybe one day you will. Maybe you will one day.
The corner of Pri's mouth turned upward.
Hey, little bit.
Zephyr's voice called to them from the street below.
What are you two doing up there?
I like being up high, don't you?
You can join us if you'd like.
Pri peered over the edge.
We are just chatting.
Not a bad idea.
He smirked, and he disappeared into an updraft of wind. Pri blinked a few times, a bit surprised that he practically vanished. His ears twitched and turned back towards Breeze, and Zephyr was standing next to her, looking out at the sky.
This is a pretty nice view.
Was that the Windy Step magic art?
Pri lit up. He'd only ever heard about it before, but he'd never actually seen it in action.
You have a good eye, little man.
Zephyr pointed at him.
I lost my wings a long time ago. Not every wind spirit can levitate like this one.
He sat down next to Breeze, who hadn't realized she was floating until he mentioned it.
Windy Step is the closest I get to flying these days.
What exactly is that art anyway? Breeze plopped down and opened her notebook to ready to write down the details.
Windy Step is one of those arts only wind spirits can use.
Zephyr gladly explained to the curious girl.
You dissolve the mana in your body into the wind and move somewhere else as a gust of wind. You can only do it for short bursts, otherwise you might not be able to regain your body at all, or even lose part of yourself.
Is that how you lost your wings? Breeze raised an eyebrow and looked at him out of the corner of her eye.
No.
He laughed and waved off the notion.
I haven't lost anything to Windy Step.
He paused, realizing that wasn't entirely true.
Well, more like any part of my body.
I've become a little more choosy with my clothing and possessions since I use it often enough.
Hey, yo. Sir?
Yeah, you get the implication there.
Sir? You want a windy step over here?
You gotta give him a different set of clothes first.
No. No, he don't need his clothes. He can windy step over here without the clothes.
When you step out of them clothes.
Yes.
Aerodynamic.
The clothes just weigh him down. They're too open, too billowy. They cause the backdraft.
That's being horny for my characters.
I'm just horny all the time.
Never.
Thirsty bitches.
Mhm.
I'm bitches. Come here, pretty boy.
Anyway. He looked at Breeze as she was scribbling down notes with a smile on his face. He chuckled.
It's not easy, but I feel like you'd get the hang of it easily if you tried it.
Really? Breeze perked up at the thought of learning magic art exclusive to wind spirits.
Considering you levitate without a second thought, I imagine controlling wind mana is no problem for you.
He smiled, tilting his head to the side as he praised her.
While that's true, her focus could use some work.
Bree snickered.
It might be a while before she can do it.
Get the there. Oh.
Goodness.
Get it out.
Loud one. Hey, I'm plenty focused. Breeze puffed up in a pout.
Maybe I'll teach it to you.
Zephyr chuckled.
Maybe a few other magic arts too.
Yes, I'm so down. Breeze perked up a bit.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you lose your wings?
Bree asked with a cautious curiosity.
Well, honestly, I don't remember.
Zephyr leaned back, looking to the fire-colored sky with a rather neutral expression.
It happened during the Age of the Bloom. Like most spirits at that time, I had a huge memory gap. I had my wings one day, and when I woke up years later with them gone. I was pretty mad at first, but I was more angry about what happened to Ayla during the time.
What happened to Alia?
Alia, sorry.
You're good. Breeze wanted to know more about the time period, but it was such a sensitive subject for Alia. Bree advised her not to dig into the specifics from her.
Well, if she hadn't told you yet, then I don't think it's my place to say.
Zephyr sighed. He didn't want to be the one to tell her friends if she didn't want them to know.
I'm surprised you aren't hanging out with her right now.
Bree made a quick shift in the subject to get the disappointed Breeze out of her nosy ways.
You two have been apart for a while, haven't you?
We have, but I don't want to overwhelm her.
Zephyr shrugged with a sentimental smile.
She's been without me for so long, and a lot has changed in over a century. She's much stronger now. It's not like she needs me to be her protective older brother anymore.
You miss it still, don't you?
Bree understood the way he felt. Bree already saw himself heading in that direction with Breeze.
Of course I do.
Zephyr leaned forward and rested a hand on his chin.
But I can still be here to support her, even if she has such a great crew already.
Do you think she can stop this war? Breeze asked, figuring if anyone knew if it were possible it would be Zephyr.
I think she can, with our help.
He leaned back and tousled Breeze's hair. Our help? Breeze was always watching, so she never really considered herself a participant. She did help before when Bree told her to. She was entertaining the thought of being in the story, not just writing it, as she had been. Yeah. A slow smile lit up on her face, and a sparkle of adventure had shone in her eyes. Our help.
So a little bit. You want to head back to the inn with me?
Zephyr stood up.
I doubt anyone will be out there for too much longer.
I think that's a fine idea.
Bree looked up at Breeze for confirmation.
What do you say, Breeze?
Yeah. Breeze scooped up her bag and skipped along after him. Oh, wait, wrong button. There we go. The night began to creep in. The darkness that was being generated by humans began to lessen, trading out for the natural darkness of the night. Mono street lamps dimly lit the corners of Lambertine. The stars quietly shone on the city, and a pale moonlight reflected off the cool surface of the stone buildings that Eric ran his fingers across as he walked along the alleyways. Eric had mostly been avoiding the nights in town all day. Every once in a while, he had caught a glimpse of the others, having a relatively enjoyable time shopping or just chatting. While part of him wanted to join, he didn't feel like getting rejected, so he remained in his own solitude most of the day. Eric found himself wandering just outside the back side of the inn that they were staying at that night. It was a nice little garden square that had a few tables and chairs and a couple of benches. The mono lamps illuminating the trees and floral bushes were even dimmer than the street lamps. It was barely bright enough to see where he was going and not trip over the furniture or the branches that reached over the narrow stone path he was on. Eric settled on one of the benches, having rested his sword against it. He leaned his head back and closed his eyes, enjoying the cool night air against his skin. He remained still a while, eventually opening his eyes to look at the stars, through the tree leaves. He couldn't help but wonder why he didn't run when he had the chance. He had been running almost non-stop the past few years of his life. When it came to being around this group of strange spirits, he didn't feel the need to run. There was something nagging him, telling him to stay a while longer. A sound of a window being opened pulled his attention from his thoughts. He slowly glanced at the source and caught a glimpse of Alia's pale hair, despite the bush that crept along the frame of the window obscuring his line of sight. Eric stood up and crept closer to catch a better glimpse of what she was doing as she turned away from the window that she had just cracked. Curiously leaning in, Eric saw that she was alone in the small room. Her new set of clothes were laid out on the bed. Regulus was set on the small bedside table next to the mono-lantern. She seemed to waver a bit as she pulled Sigmus's cloak off her shoulders as she wearily sat on the bed. She looked far paler than usual and completely drained. Eric quietly watched in concern as her trembling hands pulled her dagger from its sheath. Every inch of it was covered in dimly glowing cracks and fractures that ran from the blade to the hilt. No, it's too soon, Alia breathed. Alia's heavy-breathed words carried their way to Eric as he noticed the glowing, rapidly becoming brighter. She held it away from her and let it go. In a bright burst of blue light, the dagger was obliterated. And the tale continues ever onward.
Awesome.
Chapter finished.
That's the stream, folks.
Let's go.
That's the story. That's fun.
it. Enjoy the cliffhanger. That's all you get for now.
To be
If
continued.
you want to read more, the next chapter is up on the website.
Cool.
If you cannot handle this cliffhanger. So, chat, what did you think? Did you like it? What did you like? What was your favorite part?
Give the author some input.
Yes, praise me, bitches.
Sumi likes being degraded, but she also likes being praised.
Yeah, it's an eternal conflict.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit
Yeah.
before we get the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm not doing an art every chapter this time, but I still have to do the art for the other chapters.
yeah, baby.
I know, honey. We're playing a bit here.
I
Just
wasn't
hold on.
sure I would do it either, but you know, I did it.
She committed.
I did.
You made it happen.
No, honey, no.
Baby.
Put your stuff in the stickers. It's my present.
My favorite part is just Cygnus.
I mean, we got 2 hot boys to join the party this
Yeah!
time. Fuck yeah. One that actually likes losing his clothing.
I wouldn't say likes, but you know.
He lets it happen. and both boys have trauma.
It's true.
Whatever Cygnus went through with Alcor.
Mhm.
And however Zephyr lost his wings, which is going to be fucking traumatic.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
as the clips
I'm sure people can theorize and guess.
Yeah. As the clips state, I love a boy with trauma. Let me out.
My hot traumatic boys.
Yeah.
I know, honey.
I know you've been
Big
so
squeaky.
Listen, I know we were talking about otters and whatnot, and they're so squeaky and whatnot. That doesn't mean you have to be squeaky right now. Squeaky later.
Yeah, I think the only characters in the party without trauma would be Turbius and Breeze. Currently.
Oh. The beans.
The beans. No trauma for the beans yet.
Yeah.
There's always a yet to tack on.
There's always time with age.
Yeah.
There's always time with war.
Because Breeze is baby. Turbius is second baby of the group. It's why Zephyr's like such older brother mode around Breeze.
Aww.
Protect.
He's like, she's kind of like Alia when she was younger. I like this one.
I am taking care of
I
this one
adopt
now.
this one now.
It's like a taco without hot sauce. Joke's on you, I don't have hot sauce on my tacos. I like
Yeah.
hot things, but I just never use hot sauce.
I don't usually do hot sauce on tacos either. Sometimes I'll do like a verde sauce though.
You
Hot
could
sauce is
have,
the shit.
but are you even trying? What if we wanted to do, remember, post-nut chat?
Yeah, we gotta have a little Zatsu time.
I know you don't like that. I know I also need to go shopping.
Let's get the worms
Whoa.
in here. Whoa. Paya got big.
Paya.
Word.
Paya, hold on.
The power
I
of
got you in my
worm.
grip, chat.
Here we go. That's a little more like it. Give us the worms. For silly Zatsu time.
I'm gonna need you to chill out.
I'm gonna have to figure out which button I did it. Was it this one? Yeah! First try! I think I have to give you worm because I don't think I have a worm button for you yet.
Joke's on you, gigantic Paya. I enjoy that.
Oh, I do have worm for you. Okay, Pog.
Worm
time!
Worms! Worms for
Worm Zatsu time!
Got you, chat.
I wish my head could go down lower. Mwah.
No snuggle.
Kiss the worm.
Mwah.
Snuggle the worm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we being affectionate to worms and not you?
Like, I am the queen worm.
It's true.
How
she
dare you
is.
ignore me?
But I'm not. I can't ignore you. You make it impossible.
Yeah.
The
Drama.
things have been done. The nervous is gone.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The big nervous.
The thing is
gone.
out there, so like I can't do anything about it now.
What's done is done. I have spoken.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wang wang.
Baby, can we chat?
Can we Zatsu? Little Zatsu? Please?
No, we're not doing that.
Just some Zatsu time?
Noisy, squeaky girl.
You want a bath?
Damn, the threats.
Zatsu.
I have a very traumatic relationship with my child. She's fine. I am very excited for us to do more creative stuff like that. Some of our like original stuff. So like making some music and doing karaoke stuff and doing writing and sharing writing and stuff.
It's happening. Things are happening.
And I don't think I've brought it up on stream. At least I don't think I have. And if I have, I'm sorry, I'm a broken record, but I'm probably gonna say it over and over and over again. So I was talking with my mom about this, like last week when I was at work. I was listening to some music and this song came on and I was like, oh, I choreographed a dance to this like a while ago. And then like I started getting a little sad because my background with dance right now is a little scuffy.
Oh,
And it's a whole long story. I'm not gonna go into it, but like it's iffy at best. But I started getting kind of emotional about it because I thought about you guys, our members and our subscribers and whatnot, and how we've been journeying on our channel. And I thought about how you guys are so open and like accepting and like you guys are like, fucking do it.
Do it, cowards.
I mean, we do it to you too, but you guys are also like, do the thing. Like, we want to see the thing from you guys. And like, you're just very...
It makes me so happy.
You guys are very accepting.
Like,
and like...
you guys like talking about Mysteria on occasion in the Discord. It makes me so fucking happy. You guys have no idea. It makes me want to cry.
we appreciate all your support, everyone.
Yeah, so like, thank you guys for being here. And like, you guys don't have to buy memberships. I'm still like delusional about the fact that some of you guys have purchased them.
The fuck is wrong with you? Why do you subscribe to us?
I'm very...
Don't go away though.
Yeah, don't go away.
You gotta stay. I'm holding you hostage. This isn't a fun cuddle time, chat. This is you. You're stuck here.
Wait, are we tying? Are we
But
rigging
I'm
them?
cuddling my worm. I love my worm.
But is that considered rigging or bondage? Are we binding our string worms? Right?
Maybe.
Are we kinky with our string worms?
Oh no, but they like it.
I mean, they come with their own string.
You're shooting for the rainbow ticket.
Oh,
See?
man.
Oh, so sweet.
That's 4 years away.
I mean, I plan to keep on doing this as long as
Yeah.
possible.
Stockholm Syndrome ticket.
Let's fucking go. No, like,
That's so sweet.
it just makes me really happy because it makes me like actually want to do like the creative things that I want to do, and I finally feel like I can share them, even though I'm fucking terrified still. But like before, it was like no one can ever like this thing that I'm doing can never see the light of day. No one will ever know that it exists except for me. And you guys make it more possible in my brain to like share the creative stuff, like singing, because I want to do more singing stuff, and I'm still fucking terrified, but it might happen sooner rather than later.
We got it.
Even though my fucking name is Aria Capella. You would think that I should just
Live up to the name.
one of these days. But and just all of the stuff that we're sharing, and the fact that you guys are enjoying it, and I know in our Discord we've kind of talked about how a lot of you want to like get back into drawing and doing other art stuff, and like, so I really hope that we
sweet that like I can inspire you guys to do that.
Yeah.
Just from like
Big
the little
thrive.
drawing stream I did.
Yeah, big thriving creative community.
yeah, and I just hope we can all keep feeding off of each other and just like be creative, and because that's one of the things about being a content creator. One of the things that drew me to content creating is finding all those people that inspire me and just like want to do nice things in the world and just want to like help people through hard times. Because I have a lot of people, a lot of content creators that help me through some really hard times of mine. And like I don't know if I can be that person, but I want to be that person. And so I hope at least some things can help you guys. And we can keep doing things that make you guys feel like safe and welcome and happy. So that's my big ol' emotional stick. I'm an emotionally vulnerable worm. Don't look at me.
Emotions are hard.
We love you even if you are a worm.
No, yeah, we still love you, even when you're a worm. I hope you guys love us when we're worms, too. One of these days, I want to get a string worm model. It needs to happen.
I know that there's one that's like either free or cheap, like out there, already rigged. It exists. I've seen it.
Become worm. Instead of earthworm, you be ocean worm.
I mean,
Neko beware.
I could be a sea cucumber.
Or I want to be a sea bunny. Make me a sea bunny.
Sea bunny.
They're so
string
cute.
would be so cute.
That would be so cute.
Stop.
I want to be a sea bunny. Make me a sea bunny.
We are only 40 away, aren't we?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
And
know.
I have not worked on the merch stuff
We have basic outlines.
for a couple of them, yeah.
It's okay. I still have stuff that I have to do. There's stuff that needs to be done. It's just.
It's a process.
Yeah.
Maybe a drawing stream where I do that shit.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Because then you could get input on stuff too.
Yeah, get shit done.
Yeah.
Productivity.
Productivity, and then also get just artistic input too. Because we have our ideas, but maybe the stringworms have something else to add to it.
Yeah.
Besides, if it's gonna be merch for people to purchase, it should be something that you guys want to purchase and wear or sport or have up, put up somewhere on display.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our little emotional
Yeah.
right now.
God, I sang live on stream. I sang not live on stream.
But you put yourself out there and you did a good job.
You presented live on stream.
Ah!
Screams externally.
I have a mouth and I must scream. It's okay. Like throughout this whole thing, it was good that I put my headphones on for that chapter because I've just had Niji songs stuck in my head.
Oh.
Hajimemashite, my dear friend.
Yeah, that one. It is explicitly that one.
I know.
I've been humming it around. I've been listening to a lot of stuff. That's such a cute song though.
Uh-oh, puppy noises.
Baby is rioting.
It is her dinner time.
It
Always the
is.
Gonna try and get some ball in beforehand.
Yeah.
The other one is really fun.
Yeah. Get on some shoes and get to doing that.
Well, I think we'll probably call it right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying everything. All the
Yeah.
cliffhangers and sass and hot men. Hot
Yeah.
characters in general. I just say men this time because we added two.
We had
new
two
ones.
hot men.
Just hot characters in general.
Actually, 3 technically, but 2 to the party. Because, like, Artorias came in for the first time.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
we had this hot man,
yes.
this hot
That,
man,
yes.
this hot man.
Yes. All the hot men. Yes. So thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure to fix your cashew-shaped bodies. Hydrate or dehydrate. Eat food. Take your medication. I know she is like.
She's whining while chomping on her hodge pig.
That's not surprising. I sense a pattern. What pattern? What are you talking about?
It's time play with me.
I know. I would you play?
Mm.
And make sure all of y'all get some good sleepy time.
Mhm.
Sleepy is good.
Sleepy.
And if you aren't subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you know what we're doing. You can join the Discord where Sumi does post
They do.
art and stuff. Other people post art too.
Yeah.
Paya fucking building up that horny jail.
I had a lot of time on my hands on vacation.
A lot of time to be horny.
Quick, 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 quick. And
Join the club.
if you wanna read more, you can click the link down below. It goes to the website where I post chapters on occasion. The next chapter requires some art doing, so might be a little bit before that one. But the chapter after this one, 18, is up there. So go read
Go
it.
read. Go read, you stringworms.
Get on it.
And then if you want to audition for the audiobook version of this
story.
production, I guess. Yeah. If you want to join the audiobook production for the Tale of Mysteria Tidal archive, the auditions are also on the website.
We're gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking excited.
It actually gives me like such bubbly butterflies in my stomach when I see like other auditions. I'm like, oh my god, people are tuning into this shit for free.
For free. Whee!
It blows my mind.
Mayhaps one day it can be an actual production.
Oh,
Or
that
we
would be
can have
nice.
an actual production, but you know,
Uh,
until then.
Tale of Mysteria anime. Oh, that would be so hot.
Sumi's new dream.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
Be sure to look out for a schedule too, everybody, because we're about to switch things up a little bit.
Ooh.
Sort of, kind of,
A little bit.
probably. I mean, we already switched it up with Mysteria today, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. You guys are awesome. We love you. Snuggle the worm.
Snuggle your worm.
And we will see you guys next time. Okay.
Catch
Take care
you
of yourselves,
then.
everybody.
Bye bye, chat.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye. Ah.